Hello, folks. Hi. Welcome to another episode of the Mind of the Martyr. We just randomly have a jingle now. Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, welcome to another episode of the Mind of the Martyr. We are here. We are ready to go. A little tired, but we're here. We're good. I'm gonna go ahead and immediately say a huge thank you to everyone who turned out for our charity drive for Lebanon. $1,605 was raised towards the Lebanon Red Cross, which will be going to help both folks that were affected by the disaster and then folks that have been affected by the upsurge of COVID-19 cases as well. We are super thankful for everyone who came out, super thankful to everyone who helped us out, and it was a wonderful experience with some wonderful games. Speaking of charity drives as well, Jen, I believe you have something cooking for Saturday.
Yeah, 7 to 10 Eastern, I'll be running For the Honor, which is totally not She-Ra, except in as much as it is, but it isn't. And we'll be benefiting Extra Life, so medical care for kiddos. What better cause could there be? So come join us 7 to 10 Eastern. It'll be fun.
Awesome. And that is part of a charity drive that's going across 2 days. There's a whole bunch of other streamers, podcasters, and other content creators involved. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be good. A whole bunch of people involved, and hopefully we're going to raise a ton of money. That's the hope. We're going to go ahead and start rolling very shortly. But first of all, we have 3 wonderful sponsors. Our first sponsor I'm going to start with So Nerdware. So Nerdware are a wonderful source of TTRPG-related paraphernalia. They have wonderful t-shirts, mugs, dice, and other such wonderful things. They also have been working with content creators directly to create lines related to them and their content. They're wonderful. We love them, and you can go ahead and throw in the code FRIENDS to get 10% off your order. That goes towards helping out the channel here. I'm going to pass over to Ty for DM Emporium.
Hi everybody, Ty here. So DM Emporium, just trying to get trying to make it this one-stop shop for everything you could ever want for D&D and D&D accessories, whether it's, fancy metal dice to feel the weight of destiny in your hand, a tray to roll them on so your table doesn't get slowly degraded and ground into powder as you play, or even just like a Viking drinking horn to be that perfect pair with your the character that you're playing. Come and check it out. You could find something that's enhance the experience, make it a little more fun, and if you're gonna play D&D, might as well play it up, right? Check us out. Use the code FWRD, get 10% off of your entire order, no matter how much you order, and 10% goes to building up this wonderful, lovely community with all these wonderful, lovely people. And the more that they get, the better it will get. Although they seem to be doing just well. You're perfectly fine, guys. Doing it here. So, we got something coming up hopefully soon here. We have a prototype. That's all I can say. And then, so back to you.
Secrets are no fun unless they're
scheming hands. I like it. Awesome. Cheers, Ty.
That laugh. That was good. That was a good.
That was good. Our third sponsor are the wonderful folks at Grindin' Coffee. Look, I've checked out their flavors. They are amazing. They have a whole bunch of wonderful different blends and different flavors. And of course, me being stereotypical, immediately saw the cowboy blend and was like, yes, this, I want it. So go ahead and check them out. There's some wonderful folks that also tend to help out the folks in the community. They have a whole bunch of partners. We are lucky to be one of them. Go ahead and throw in FWRD for 13% off your order there. Everyone needs coffee. Even the people that don't drink coffee somehow need coffee. Go ahead and give them a shout. Check them out. And that goes towards helping the channel as well. Wonderful. Unless anyone else has anything to plug, we can go ahead and get started.
I'm afraid. Okay, I'm good. I am fear.
Alrighty. I believe we were going to head over to Oren for the recap. It's been 2 weeks, so we're probably going to definitely need a recap this time.
All right.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, let's see how far I can remember. I was terrified through most of it. We are on the fire plane. We came there in search of a primordial goddess by the name of Sispi, who is the sister of Saya, who is the tree that my monastery was built under. We were sent there by their eldest sister, Kylera, to retrieve Sispi and hopefully convince her to come back. We met with the Council of the Fire Plane. They're a bunch of shitbags, to put it nicely. But we did meet a very kind gentleman named Nerthan, who turned out to be a giant red dragon. And he gave us a ride to go see Sispi, and that was very nice. I was terrified the entire time. We learned that not only were there three sisters, but there is a fourth as well. And we also learned that the goddesses that my monastery worships are warlocks, much like Athenos here. And they serve the same patron, so good old Snake Daddy rears his head into our business once again.
I'm sorry I have more in common with your goddesses than you do. I mean, I'm not surprised, but you know.
911, I need to report a murder. Oh no.
That happens.
Hashtag
heard
Mad
gunfire.
Athenos.
In the medium top, one who lurks below.
The one who works, the one who lurks
Who works below?
The
You know what I
works
mean.
below.
Thank you for the 100 bits, Graham.
Oh
Thank you,
man,
Graham.
Nice to see you.
You
Great.
did shave.
Ray shaved.
Yes.
You shaved the well.
unfortunately. I feel naked. I don't like it. Moving on.
I'm sure there was a
Me
lot I
without a
forgot.
headset. I think I wrote down Snake Daddy's name, but all I know is that it's
chats with the council.
I think he's
They
Snake
are-
Daddy from now on, Cole.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we've got.
Thank you for other 97 bits, Graham.
So he has a name, but it's hard to say and it's long. So Snake.
I didn't get it right. Endomedion Talon, wasn't that it?
Yes.
I just call Snake, but I guess you guys are gonna call him Snake Daddy. It's weird. Okay.
And didn't we also learn a little bit about Soup's background with a copper dragon and a library?
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
We did. We did.
Soup opened up to us.
Yeah.
It's a rare event,
likes
and it's
us.
probably never going to happen ever again.
Don't talk about it.
I'm sure it's all not relevant at all to the plot, and we will never hear anything more about it.
Oh,
Definitely not.
Never again. Definitely not.
Aw.
Absolutely not. Pwah.
It was a fluke.
And we also found this wonderful, beautiful glamour weave, and it was a dress, and I put it on to see if it worked, and then I think Soup took it, but then he stuffed it in his bag, so he's not wearing his dress anymore.
About that.
Yeah, I think Soup
That
still
Jotra
has
looked
the
amazing.
glamour.
I did. I was pretty.
his
You did
grand
it,
plans for
Quaddle.
that dress.
Oh yeah. And yeah, where we left the episode off, you folks were flying back to Jahathbal on the back of Nerthan. So it was a few days on the back of this dragon. You don't see any noticeable changes in the surroundings. The tree seems as tall, as bright, and as blazing as ever. The creatures underneath you still skitter. many of them aggressive, many predators hunting down bigger prey and bigger prey and bigger prey. There is the same humidity that you have encountered before in the fire plane. Unfortunately, nothing changing on that front. There is a little time to talk if anyone wishes to, as we continue to head back to the city.
I think at some point Ishton would probably approach Athenos about the interesting information we just got about your, source of your power. Did you know that you had some friends in high places other than him?
Oh, like not at all. I don't even know what he is, let alone what those goddesses. I have never heard of those goddesses, never heard of him. Honestly, I'm just as confused and clueless as everyone else here right now.
But he picked you in addition to picking some primordial goddesses. That has to feel good. A little? Just a little?
No,
No, not at all.
I
Not, you're
didn't
not
want any
flattered.
of this.
No, I know you did not want. I'm just saying that, you are in good company.
The goddesses became trees, Ishtin.
Well,
The
you became a
goddesses.
giant fire lizard or snake, which is much cooler than just becoming a tree. I don't want you to become a giant snake. I'm just trying to make it, a little lighter. It was scary.
They became trees without their permission. They didn't know why it was happening. It just happened. I became a snake without my permission. I didn't know what was happening. It just happened. They're still trees. If I turn into a snake, will I turn back? Would I be stuck like that?
Do you think I have not worried about this too? I saw it.
Honestly, before, I would have preferred not knowing that the goddesses were involved. At least then I felt like I had a chance of maybe getting out of this. But now that I know 3 goddesses couldn't, what am I supposed to do?
Use them as allies?
Is this been in your heads the whole
No,
time, or is
I'm
this
out loud.
I think out loud,
it's a
yeah.
very big back of a dragon, so I'm not anywhere around other people, but I'm out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But not like you're still like off to the side trying to. Okay.
Yeah. Use them as allies. I don't think, Athenos, that you are the type to think that just because some goddesses could not deal with it, that you can't.
You saw that vision, right?
I did.
I don't know what they expect from me. I'm apparently the best option for redemption. Redemption from what? From who? I don't know. Before this, I was a pirate with one hell of a shot. Now I'm most likely a plaything or a tool to some primordial being that I hadn't heard of or heard about for years. I don't know.
You are only a plaything if we let you be, and we will not let you be. I will not let you be.
I think it's just in thought. He doesn't reply.
She doesn't say anymore.
All right. Anybody else?
Aridin is kind of also sitting off by herself, and she has the book. And she's looking for a couple things. First, she wants to see if there's been any more activity after the whole thing with Jotra. Second, she wants to try to find the last job that she was on. The last time her name appears in the book.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check for me.
Jotra seeing the book would probably go over and help if you wanted him to. You could shoo him away if you wanted to, but he'd come over.
Yeah, no, Aridin would let that happen.
Mm-hmm. With advantage.
With advantage! Okay. Oh, I'm so scared. Okay. I'm gonna do these two. Woo! Oh. Okay, sorry, that was a stupid laugh. 23!
Okay. So the first thing you do is flick right back to the book, right to the back of the book. There have been a few more entries since Jotra's. A few different missions that have apparently already been written in, sorted, and completed as well.
Oh shit.
You see the signatures of a few familiar names. Nothing specific that grabs your exact attention. Just names that you've seen before and certain individuals.
None of them are Veriki. Verliki.
Valirki.
Valirki. Okay.
No.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. So as you're flicking back through, it was a 23, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you're flicking back through, you carry on looking through past Jotra, past a few others. And you find the very last mention of your name in this book, which is actually marked next to a failed mission. The mission goes into a description of dealing with an individual that they had actually encountered before. There is a very on-point and in-depth description of this individual and their capabilities. As you go through a little bit more, you can see a full breakdown written by Valirki herself. Multiple members were sent to hunt down this individual. During this, for one reason or another, Aridin Azanti was marked a traitor to the Order. Both her and the perpetrator were considered missing and the mission a failure after a freak accident, or so it's been described. And you can see, unusually, a big section of text that has been completely crossed out and omitted.
Is there any way to undo that?
Oh, is there?
Before I do that, is there a date? Any dates? Muted.
Whoops, had to happen. It appears that the date has also been redacted.
So is it crossed out in ink, or is it like scratched?
Board Game House, thank you for the raid.
Woohoo!
Super appreciated. Hi there.
Hello, 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 hello.
We are playing
Look at
some
all them
fantasy
hugs.
nonsense.
I'm finding out some things about my character.
Oh, hugs, love bombs. Look at that. Look at
I
that.
love hugs. I'm touch
Love
starved.
it.
I'm sending hugs to everybody. So many hugs. If you want them. If you don't want them,
Wonderful.
an air high five.
Hugs for the hugs
COVID-friendly elbow
inclined.
bump.
Hugs for the hugs inclined. I like that. That's good.
I saw that from Amy Dunham, but
It's okay. If you don't say it's no. Wow, awesome. Yeah, so to answer your question there, Jojo, it appears to be some kind of ink. As you run your finger across it, it appears to have dried. Probably the best way I could describe it is like fantasy Tipex. It's like an actual material that has been used to cover it over.
white out.
Fantasy
It's
what?
white out. It's when you white it out.
White out.
It's a specific brand. It's called Tipex, but it's the white out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liquid
I knew.
paper.
I saw Jen's reaction. I was like, oh, let me just explain real quick.
Other brands are available. Cover all my bases.
At that point, Jotra's gonna look at Aaron. Looks like you've always had some sort of... What's going on? Yeah, I have an idea. As he looks at this ink, he's gonna get just a go over to his turtle, pull out a bottle of alcohol, get just a tiny bit on his finger, and see if he can get it under the end of the material that's this ink, and see if he can just strip back a little bit. See if he can get a word, and then like basically get up the tip, and then use his like something from his tinkering tools to just slowly push back this strip that's covering up the ink underneath, and then using the alcohol to eat away the stickiness.
Okay. As you begin to go ahead and work on this book, the kind of black, almost paste-like material begins to slowly kind of move away. As it does so, it changes from that solid, strange material to rising up into this thin, black gas as it evaporates. I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
Oh no.
It's coming up. Okay, you say I think I've got a 3 plus. Probably doesn't matter. 3 plus
Think I
6, a 9.
Oh.
As you begin to pull this up, you begin to get excited. You turn around to Eridan as you're beginning to get more and more excited. You can feel your heart beating and racing faster. Eridan, as Jotra turns towards you, you can see this thick dripping of blood beginning to run down his nose.
I'm gonna take the book, immediately shut it.
Wait,
What's going on?
what do you mean? I mean, I was just getting it up. I was using the alcohol and then the tip of the scraper, and I was just pulling it up little by little. It was coming up. It was evaporating, which is cool, but I mean, I was getting it up.
Can I cast Cure Wounds? I don't know if that's gonna help. That's the only healing spell I have, though, because I'm not a cleric. Ah!
You can certainly cast it, yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna do anything, but also panic. Have you considered panicking? I don't recommend that. Actually, don't. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna cast it at first level just to see if it does anything. Okay. I'll roll the d8. I don't think it's gonna work, but okay. Does anything happen?
So you go ahead and
My hands like glow. The same, and like the markings around my eyes also glow.
Jotra, as your heartbeat has begun to quicken, it begins to slow, but as it does so, you can feel this horrible buildup down in your esophagus. You cough again. As you kind of begin to cover your mouth, there's a black ichorous substance that rests on your hands.
Oh. I think I did something bad.
You are considered poisoned.
Any of the rest of the group notice our companion spitting up Icarus?
Yeah.
I imagine at this
Yeah.
point, yes.
Ooh, Drocha,
Aridin is
probably should
like,
hold off on the coffee. It's probably not very good for you.
Yeah,
Are you all right,
All
lad?
right.
I don't know.
No, I think the answer to that is no.
I don't feel good. I feel really bad. I feel really weird. I don't like it.
oh my gosh, I don't.
Shite.
What did you do?
I was just erasing stuff. Like, well, it's erasing stuff that erased stuff in the book, and then it.
You got poisoned from reading a book?
Only me. Only I could do it.
That's why I don't go near the stuff, you know? It's not good for you.
Books are poison.
Well,
Books.
mostly just magic ones.
Oh,
Does anybody have any kind of antidote? Hey, dragon! I sort of stamp my feet. Do you know how to help with poison? I'll take that as a no.
Damn it.
There's a kind of a gruff growl and then silence.
I'll definitely take that as a no. All right.
Jojo, you don't have anything in your bag, do you?
I don't know.
Any potion? Does anyone have potions or anything? I don't have anything.
Nope.
I've got an herbalism kit that I could make potions, but I haven't made anything.
Do you know how to...
Because Adam didn't know that he had it.
Oberyn, do you know how to use that?
Not really. I don't know why I have it.
Well, give it here. I can use it. I'm actually proficient in it.
Yeah, it's yours.
Jotra, is it gross? Just gross? Or is it like making you maybe die?
I don't know.
Do you feel like your life force is slowly, coughing itself up out of your mouth? Or is
I mean,
it
he
just
did
going
stop
to be
bleeding from his nose, so I'm like...
irritating for a while? Sometimes that happens. We get nosebleeds. Are you in danger? Is what I'm saying, because we could make the dragon stop.
Jotra's gonna take a second. He's gonna try to look inward, try to see if he feels like he's dying. He's just gonna be like,
I look inward and I feel that all of my attacks rolls have disadvantage. Because that is the criteria for poison.
I don't think Jotra's ever been poisoned. It's gonna be like,
The baby doesn't know!
it feels really bad. It feels like it's all just building up and it's all gross. And does anybody have a handkerchief?
I'm not giving you my handkerchief.
I'm gonna reach in my bag and pull out one and give it to Jojo.
I think it's like having very bad acid. Just very distracting.
Yeah, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Hopefully it doesn't get
I'm
worse.
still going to try to help if I can. What do I roll for an herbalism kit? Is that
You
even
have
the
any
correct?
ingredients?
I don't know. Oren gave it to me.
I had nothing in there.
Includes ingredients.
There might have been a vial of bark from the crimson tree.
See, I was picturing oh no, but the backpack isn't here near. My friend got me this old survival kit, so I was picturing it already had some stuff in it that I could use.
I literally had no idea I even had it.
So Soup is reading a book with his legs crossed, and he just looks over and goes, closes the book. Puts the book in it. He grabs a piece of the Slazoan's liver that's left over. He looks at it and and hands it over to Ayrton. Smells and shrugs. Might be able to use that.
It is not an herb.
I don't.
Can I eat it? Will that help?
I mean, the liver does detox, but I don't think eating liver will detox.
just gonna go lay down, and he just goes over and he just flops over and like lays down on it, just like on top of his giant turtle, and he's gonna like curl up on it, pull like his bedroll as a pillow, and he's just gonna like lay there.
So there's nothing in the herbalism kit. It's just like an empty vial and like.
Kits only contain tools. They don't contain ingredients.
Heck.
Ingredients is a separate thing. Also, you don't know what you're making, as you don't know what the material you're trying to cure is currently.
Could I investigate it? Have I seen this? Oh, of course I haven't seen it before. Probably seen it before. I don't remember seeing it before though, so it doesn't really matter. Fuck! I'm like the worst person to do this. Never mind. I'm not gonna do anything. I might as well roll with like triple disadvantage.
Our character, did Jojo like completely get all of it off? Was he like stopped halfway? What actually happened?
No, it was quite literally just as the first word was kind of pulled, and as it began to come off, Jojo got excited and then was infected by whatever this is.
So I point to who has the book. I'm guessing Eridan has the book. I point to the book. That poisoned Jojo.
Yes and no. Parts of what we were looking at have been redacted magically, so we were trying to remove the redaction, and in the process of doing that, Jojo got poisoned.
Let me have a go.
I was using this. Jojo hands over his little scraper tool, and then just a little touch of alcohol, and he hands him just like this like little. He fills up his tiny little cup and hands it over, and then he goes and he lays down.
Maybe you should put something over.
I'm a UNT. I'm immune to poison. I don't get poisoned.
Oh, that's hand. Okay.
I'm usually the one that's poison other people, and then like I turn away and blow and use poison spray and just see a spray of poison come out.
I know the poison spray is like it's meant to be a cone, but I imagine it's like when you spit out water, like in the swimming pool, just like stream.
Fountain.
Yeah, Eridan.
Oh, I'm downwind of that. Crap.
Sif just sits back where he was, and you see him take like some little bits of cotton and just plug them in his nose while he's reading the book.
While Athenos is working on the book, I actually will go over to Jotra and sort of squat down near him and pat him a little bit, rub him on the back, just being like, "You are going to be okay." And I'm keeping an eye on Athenos to see if my huntmate dies from poison, but I'm
I'm immune to poison damage as well. I'm just gonna...
Yeah, Eridan will
never
flip
know.
to
It
the
could
page.
be special poison. It could be like
It could be yuan tea poison.
It doesn't affect your blood. It affects your mind.
We found the one alcohol in the world that got you drunk, bud. So
I mean, to be fair, okay then. That's true. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and remove the magical Tipex.
So first, it's a little harder as you're not really used to such delicate, kind of meticulous work straight away. But as soon as you kind of get into the rhythm of it and start treating it like you treat cleaning your firearms, for example, you begin to kind of get that precision that you need. The black smoke rises up again and disperses and evaporates. You feel a slight tickle in the back of your throat, and then it passes. You go ahead and continue. Begin to move all of this gunk now off the page. You manage to reveal the section that is underneath. So two things have been redacted. The first thing you see, Athenos, is the date.
Oh, so is this in a language I understand?
Oh no.
Because I don't think I understand it, do I?
I'm looking over Athenos' shoulder, and I have a thing over my mouth. Just in case.
Yeah, the first thing you would see is the date at the top. For Athenos, it is scrambled, unfortunately. For Eridan, though, as soon as you put the cipher towards it and begin kind of deciphering it, it is dated essentially 2 weeks after you were told that Ishtin and Athenos met.
Two weeks after Ishtin and Athenos met.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was the second thing?
The second thing appears to be a more detailed breakdown of the events that happened. There were multiple members sent to hunt this individual down, and there was a long and grueling battle when this individual seemed to be, at least, on their last legs. They spoke to the members that were present. Matrona Viliaki was confident that this kind of poisoning of the mind, as she writes in this book, was something that was going to be completely ineffectual. And it was. Save for one individual. When Eridan intervened, a spell was interrupted by Viliaki to this individual, which caused a tremendous arcane explosion. When the team came to, nothing was left, save a severed wing and a severed arm. Both Eridan and the individual known as Hawthorne were missing.
Athenos.
Yeah.
How long did you and Ishtin meet? How long ago was that?
What was it? I think it's been
2 or 3 months.
yeah.
Yeah, depending on how long we were traveling.
Why? Eridan.
That's when it happened.
Being very vague. That's when what happened?
This was my last job.
I'm sorry, it was the same, wait, it was 2 or 3 months ago. What does that have to do with us?
It was about the date. It was around the same time.
Around the same time, so not at the same time.
No.
I'm just gonna hop down and wander, looking and reading. That seems about 2 weeks after you said that you met, that there was this event. I don't know how much you share, but so we've got kind of a timeline of what might have happened, I guess.
I'm still very confused. Yeah, this happened I guess I'm saying this happened 2 weeks after Isha and I met, but many things happened 2 weeks after
Yes.
Isha and I met.
We were just on an island. He was bleeding on my couch.
I think it's just without any other.
But there's time missing. How long have we been? Sorry, out of character. How long have we been? How long ago were we on the airship?
It was like 2 weeks at this point.
2 weeks
maybe?
ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
at this point it'd be just about 2 weeks.
Okay.
There would be.
I woke up a month ago, but you met a few months ago.
Yeah.
What happened in between that?
What does it? It could be a coincidence. What does it have to do with we met
Yeah.
a month ago? I don't understand. I had no dealings with your people for years before that.
This was my last job. This is the accident where I lost. She'll hold up her hand.
Pietra grabs your hand when you go to put it up. The feeling the time was taken to make this, and points to your wing. I have a feeling that's where the time was lost. Did something keep you complete? I think that's probably where your missing time is. They don't want you to remember them, so that way you're no longer in any trouble or danger. Also, you can't put them in any over this.
But why? Why give me this?
But it says
For
here
nothing.
you saved them. It seems like.
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't think it has anything to do with us.
It doesn't. It's just a timeline thing. I'm trying to put pieces together.
So just gonna get out his journal and he's going to flip up into a page, and then he's just gonna draw this straight line, and then he's gonna put marks down of events that we know have happened, and then at the beginning of it he's gonna put the event and then a big space, and then he's gonna put meets Jotra, and then like a little smiley face, and then he's gonna just write out some of the events and stuff they've done, and then he's gonna hold up. He's like, okay, so we have a timeline. So now we have all of these parts of the puzzle, so we can focus on that part of the puzzle, and he points at the blank space, or this part of the puzzle where it's before the event. And he's like, so we have a jumping off point, so we're still building a more complete picture. We're getting closer.
Just worried about those 2 months that I'm missing.
So focus on those. The feeling secrets.
Surprised that Veliki didn't. I was marked as a traitor.
Would I know of any artificers or anybody named that could build things like this? Have I heard of any?
Oh. History or Arcana with disadvantage. I'll let you have either. Also, if Soup is listening to this, Soup would be the other individual who may possibly know. So I would say, again, history or Arcana with disadvantage.
Really quick question. Other people with expertise in Arcana?
Nope.
I'll give it to you. It would be at disadvantage again, but yeah, I'll give it to you.
I got 2 natural ones.
Oh, you did it.
Oh no, I
Two
didn't.
natural ones, you
No,
get
I
to
didn't.
reroll it.
If
30
it's,
feet of me.
do you only get to re-roll all ones or both?
No,
of them?
so the way that the feat specifically is worded is it says reroll natural ones. It doesn't specifically
so
say
any of
how
them.
many.
That's nice.
So any.
You get to roll both, basically.
So with that,
Also-
that's a 26 because I got an 18 instead.
Well, hold up.
Someone just
in
gave us
chat-
give
Yeah, someone
inspiration.
just gifted inspiration.
DSD
Oh.
cosplay. Who do you want to give that inspiration to?
I think we're good, but like we need it soon.
Yeah, who do you want to give that to? What
Like
character?
don't not gifted. Like yeah, but give it to someone. But we're good on this roll. But yay!
Let's see, we could go. Erden is lacking an advantage. Jin is lacking an. Both good options.
This is
And there are
specifically
plenty of
inspiration, so I
other
think this is a
good
D8,
options.
right?
D8.
Inspiration
Yeah.
is D8.
Oh, even
Yeah.
better.
Nice.
The wizard.
The wizard.
The wizard.
Wonderful
That's right.
wizard.
All right, so Eridan,
Thank you.
that is an inspiration for you to hold on to. Soup and Ishken.
Thank you. I
your
did lose my
rolls.
arm and wing, so be nice to me. Kidding. Sorry.
14 history.
Ooh.
11.
Okay. So, unfortunately, your grasp on this isn't particularly fantastic. You haven't heard the name dropped anywhere specifically. Jotra, you're aware. Did you roll Arcana or History? Sorry.
I rolled history because that seemed more fair to.
Okay. So, that changes your answer. So, you're looking through your magical expertise in your head and going through everything, and you don't quite manage to kind of connect any dots until you remember a traveling group of adventurers that passed through the City of Mirrors not too long ago, before probably a little while before you met Eridan. And one of the individuals in that group was named Hawthorne. You heard their name in passing as they were discussing between each other. Some individuals that were looking for essentially some assistance with your Artificer Guild. You don't quite remember exactly what. Your memory is a little fuzzy, as you were not the person being addressed. You simply heard this through eavesdropping. You're aware that they were in the City of Mirrors for some time.
It was this was often there was somebody who came to the City of Mirrors who's looking for assistance from the Tinkerers Guild a little bit before we met. I think my guild had something to do. Well, my old guild, the Empire, not my guild anymore, had something to do with, and then building maybe or helping planning or something with your limb. Do I know? Would I've known any masters there? Anybody who worked with the more porcelain look, like the less refined? Is there anybody who's no finished work?
Probably the person closest for the Tinker's Guild you could think of would be Master Reginald, who was a creator of Generation 3 Warforged, who took great pride in his work.
You worked with porcelain?
He created many Warforged, some of them being made out of porcelain. However, those he tended to keep as assistants until they gained their free will. Reginald is, as you remember, a rather elderly gnome individual, quite tall for a gnome, quite spindly as well. This individual has been working for the Magicanon for quite some time, and they have experimented with many different materials, porcelain being one of them.
How long ago was that?
A little bit before we. I'm gonna go. Do you mind if I
I don't think.
look at you? I'm gonna see if I can find any like anything that would be like original, like mark, seal, and everything. Now that I know what it, or in the designs and everything. I'm gonna see if I can go through all the way up and down the arm, and then the wing if I don't as well.
Okay. There are some similarities with the design. you're relatively familiar with Reginald's work. Not massively so, though. As you're looking through and across Eridan's prosthetics, you see some resemblances of Reginald's design. But as you're looking through, some of the improvements that have been made to make these prostheses be able to channel magic as well as they can, at least, it just looks a bit too good for Reginald, although there are definitely some inspirations taken there. As an artificer, you can probably assume if Reginald was involved, it would be based off of his work rather than his work itself.
Looks more like an inspiration. I don't think he ever got it to conduct as much magic as yours. So I think he might have shared something in dealing with the porcelain design that it gives us something. Maybe we could go eventually, if we don't find other clues or anything, but we might have a leaping off point of where he came from or where he would have been going or who we talked to if we ever could be. The only problem is that the Empire's hunting. Well, me.
What? Us.
Us.
I think most of us at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he was there to make any of this.
I have more names to ask after. People who make things like this, people notice. Okay.
I want to flip back through the beginning of the book to the first time I see my name. Is there a date next to that?
Strangely enough, no.
Okay.
I don't think you should be asking me that. You should sit down.
This is nothing. I can handle this. Are you okay? Ashtalora! He's gonna look around for Ashtalora. I think he goes over, finds her like huddled underneath Apavasari and kind of pulls her out and gives her over to you.
I'm fine. And will you sit down?
Okay. He just kind of like falls over back onto his turtle.
Just a lot to think about.
Better than nothing to think about, though. Less circles.
I think I don't think we're done finding things that connect us all.
Nope.
Dupe hears Jotra cough again. He lets out another sigh as he is reading his book. He closes his book again, puts his book up, takes the cotton out of his nose, puts it up, goes over to him and goes, and like cleans your face with prestidigitation.
Oh, hey, thank you. Oh, that's much.
Sorry, that's bugging me.
Me too.
And he like waits with his hand up for you to cough again.
Jotra tries desperately to hold it, and he's like,
Oh, ew. Oh, gross. Even Ishton looks grossed out. Like, oh.
Just like shakes it off his hand. Ugh.
All right. And you were reading, correct?
Yes.
Were you reading kind of within shot of everyone, or?
Yeah. He's hanging out on his little like rig he has connected to one of the ridges on Earthen. He seems like he's been real focused on that book, and every time he has to break concentration, he's kind of getting annoyed.
That's fair enough. Yeah. So the book that you were reading was Chrysalis, the natural weapon. This is a book that goes into detail about Chrysil, which is a very specific kind of magic that is related to biological artificery. Instead of going through and instead of using mechanics, machinery, and magic in that regard to create artificer abilities, instead it would be a direct biological manipulation. Being able to go ahead and change your very assets, your very body, to be able to recreate magical effects or be infused with magic to create new magical effects. While Chrysil is incredibly experimental, there are a few individuals that have begun using it as their primary method of magic. And this book was created by many of those practitioners in order to introduce to the world, per se, this very new magic type in Vega.
Okay. Very interesting. So that's one of the books that he took from Clinken's house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, in that case, Soup is like nose deep in this book. As soon as like you're done coughing and he's kind of like cleaned his hand off, he goes right back and it's just like he almost falls off of Nerthan for a second. He's like, what?
All right. Any other tasks, discussions, anything that needs to happen before we go ahead and bring us in for the landing, so to speak? All right. Awesome. So, there's probably another day or so of travel before you get back to the super city of Jahazbal. The familiar sights of the spires and confluxes of the city greet your eyes in the horizon. As you begin to bring yourself, as your ride begins to bring you down, they actually go ahead and land on the same council building that you had taken off from. You begin a slow descent down. Rather pleasing, as this is one of the only times you feel a breeze across your face during this entire journey. You go ahead and bring yourselves in for that landing, brace yourselves. And as Nerthan reaches down, kneels, you are able to dismount. The city seems quiet. Not massively quiet as in empty, but far quieter than you have experienced beforehand.
Well, it is 5 o'clock, so it gets...
Yeah, it's pretty late.
I was wondering, is it 5 o'clock? I mean, is it really that late?
I've passed an ember.
One by one, you begin to jump off of Nerthan's back. As the last of you dismounts off, he shapes back into this kind of commoner human disguise, so to speak. Begins to brush off his hair, kind of roll his shoulders. Resumes the stance that you had seen him use with the council.
Thanks for the ride.
Thank you.
You've been very helpful and quite a great friend here in the Fire Plane. I want to thank you very much.
You know anybody who sells the antidote to poison?
Someone starts your suck it up.
Okay.
I breathed it all in and I'm fine.
I don't... But you... Okay.
Oren's gonna just like help Jotra up on the top of like Pavasari and just jump up on the shell with him and just kind of like keep him so he's not gonna fall off.
That's easier. Thank you.
And Extra Laura is also there.
If we see her before you, is there anything you'd like us to say to Sispy?
What is everyone's passive perception? Sorry.
13.
16.
Yep, that's same.
9.
One,
Yep. 13.
Yeah.
1, 6.
Okay, so those of you with the 13s or higher, you can see his hand kind of twitching and fiddling uncomfortably as this concerned kind of look is being stifled and covered up as best he can. Simply responds to look after herself. Can't hear you, Jen.
Jen.
Really?
Oh, there we
Darn
go.
it!
Now I can hear you.
Wait, now you can hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear you now.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did. I'm
Scared
going
your
to
computer.
stay frozen right here.
You yelled and your king was like, oh shit, okay, we fucked up, okay.
I said, we will make sure she knows that you said this.
He simply offers a nod to the party.
There's a very sympathetic look on her face when she says
You did.
Kind of rolls his shoulders again a little bit, just getting used to his current stance again as he looks to Orin.
You did mention that you know somebody who can easily travel between the planes with the right payment. Do you have a name? Because I think we have to take care of a couple errands before we leave, but I don't want to intrude on you any further.
Of course. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small decorative silver coin. Hands it over. Use that as payment. You're looking for someone simply known as Bo. Find them in the retail district of town. Well, gestures towards everything as he says, town, with the quotation marks.
Sue comes up to him and kind of rubs the back of his head nervously. It's just like, kicks the dirt a bit. Dirt. What are you gonna do now?
I have concerns. Considering everything that's happened, I would like to look into the situation a little bit more. Go ahead and discover what exactly is going on here. And whether everything on the council is actually what it appears to be.
Yeah, I don't trust them two. That was talking back and forth, trying to be hostile. You ever need any help, you let me know. Pretty sneaky.
His head cocks to the side. Sneaky. There is one thing you could do for me. He takes another look around just to make sure that you are alone on this rooftop. and crouches down and looks towards you and says, "The rude one you had contact with, I know for a fact that she will not be in her room at this time. She has gone to have a discussion for a few days. It's a little cliche, but she likes the classics. If you go ahead and pull the second candlestick on her desk, it will move and reveal another room. There is a gold notebook in there. If you are able to fetch this without being detected, I will owe you a debt."
This giant grin just like slowly creeps over his face. He just starts smiling from ear to ear. He's just like, yes. He just nods.
Very well. The sooner the better.
I can't hear you again, Jen.
Well, that seems like a good place to go.
Well, now we can hear you. I think you actually just scared your computer. I think that's legitimately it.
It's a
That was
beautiful
a nat
thing.
20 on the intimidation check to your computer there. Yeah.
That is
I think
so
that
funny.
track's correct.
So you're not accidentally muting, like hitting the hotkey?
No.
Nope.
Well, keep rolling high on those intimidation checks.
I'm just going to be very loud for the whole rest of the session.
I love it. Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay.
Also, I just have to say, the Undersoup is the best ship name.
Yes.
This
I
is
love
the
it.
Underminer's brother.
So much.
The 100% Underminer's brother from
Yeah,
The Incredibles.
The Underminer.
There's nothing beneath me.
Oh man.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm so happy.
All right.
We are definitely going there. Yes, that is definitely.
Sounds good to me.
Alright.
But I'll be honest, I'm a bit hungry. And I've been eating nothing but rations on the back of a dragon. Can we like get something good to eat?
After we sneak around the lady's office.
She did
Okay,
say
break
she
my
was
stomach.
out of her office
That
right
can
now.
be arranged.
I'm just saying, if my
Those
stomach
tasks-
growls partway through and get caught because of it, it's on with you.
It's fair. It is fair.
Soup looks at Jotra and Athenos and he goes,
He's hungry. He's poison. I got this one.
he just
You sure you don't want any help?
takes off.
He's
Starts running.
Do you really think that you should go? Okay.
He's gone. Okay.
Yep, he's gone. Okay.
I have a crowbar. Oh, he's.
He will just come back with books. That's the only problem. Is all he will do is just take books.
But this time it's like part of the job.
But right, but there might be other cool things. She has fancy dress that makes you look special and whatever.
You couldn't have made him happier by making him go steal the book.
Soup was literally made for this job.
I just want to. There's a quick
Hand
flashback to-
tailored to Soup.
I just want to quickly mention that we haven't forgotten that Soup stabbed someone in the hand for stealing, right?
Stealing from the library. It belongs in a museum.
And it
sort of
still
mentality.
mystifies me.
Don't
Makes-
steal from creepy orc ladies that think that they want to eat me or something.
All right. Are we going to just wait around for Soup to steal, or are we going to go somewhere and then Soup will figure out where
Is
we
there
are?
anything? Is there anything else we need to finish here? Obviously, get
No.
Athena something to eat.
Well, I have business with my mother-in-law.
We want to see if
Also-
we can find her, right?
Well, yes, maybe. Also, there are a lot of nice weapons at my mother-in-law's house.
A lot of nice weapons. Yeah.
Are you said? Oh,
Does
are you suggesting we
anyone?
steal them?
Is it stealing if it was my husband's?
No.
No.
Right.
Sounds
I
like-
respected her wishes until she threatened my huntmate, and now I don't need to anymore. Let us go get some wonderful weapons.
I'm definitely not against some new weapons.
I take a piece of paper from the floor of his workshop. Would that be okay with you?
A piece of paper from the floor?
The wonderful design that was there that I... It was like a shrine, but if we're taking things...
No. The shrine is done. It is done.
If
So,
we
that's where I want to go.
If we happen on the way there to, if we find a shop that has, herbs and things to actually put in the herbal kit, maybe we could make a start.
And we can just straight up buy an antidote.
And we could straight up buy an antidote. But I also think having things in the herbal kit would, be helpful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot I had it for a really long time. I mean,
Hey, it's good that you had it, and now we can just, add to it. So it's,
Use it.
yes.
I didn't really know how to use it anyway.
I'll have to show you.
They gave it to me. I had it.
Yeah, there's ways to get components out of herbs and things. I'll show you how to use it.
I'd like that.
Yeah. Okay, off we go.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna just take a piece of paper real quick and just write soup went to in-laws and pin it on a tree or something. I don't know.
Why don't you leave it in Nathan's office?
Oh shit! It's a fire plane. It immediately.
Yeah, it just erupts in flame.
Mr. Underflame, can you tell him for us?
He'll
when he
find
comes
us.
Yeah, he nods. Okay, so we have Soup going to do the job for Nerthan. We have a trip to the in-laws, and then a shopping trip, by the sound of things. Okay.
If we can skip. Oh, unless we want to do role playing the shopping stuff. I was gonna say I'm cool with just being like, yes, you find the thing.
Well, we don't necessarily want to just shop for herbs. We can shop for herbs.
I was gonna say you've got a
we
lot
earn
of money and
3,000
stuff, so
across all of us,
yeah, you can go
We
ahead.
have money. Oh my
A shopping
god!
trip.
I forgot.
We
Look
found
at this
these
Lazoa. Yeah.
You're welcome.
500 gold.
Okay. So as the lone member, we'll start with Soup, as long as everyone's all right with that. So, as the party breaks off, begins to split up, Soup, you go ahead and make your way towards the office of Siosek, who you have encountered before. The door is locked, as you would expect.
What? What a ripoff. Okay. I guess I will try to unlock it.
Okay. Go ahead and do you have any thieves' tools or anything like
I
that?
think he does. Let me see.
Actually, you're not there.
Mm-mm. He's not.
Okay. I will say, due to the fact that you're a kobold, and due to the fact that it's a feature that nobody uses, and I find it really fun, if you want to take a check at disadvantage, I will let you use the point of your claw to lock the tumblers into place. Because it is a tumbler-style lock.
All right. I said disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
All right. And this would be...
It is just straight dex,
Dex. Okay.
I'll say.
All righty. Dun-dun. Let's roll it. Oh, well, that works. Okay. Well, it's a disadvantage, so I didn't get a nat 20, but instead I got a 23 because I rolled a 20 and an 18.
Nice. You're fiddling a little bit, trying to get everything in the right place, then suddenly you manage to just about get this lock open.
Like stifles himself.
You find yourself back in the office of Zeos. Nothing seems to be out of place that would catch your eye immediately. Seems to be the same old office. You do notice one of the coats missing, but apart from that...
Okay. He'll gently close the door behind him. Kind of lets out a breath, focuses, and checks the floor for any sort of like traps, etc., that may have been set for him.
Sure, roll a perception check.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 9. So I'm just gonna say he doesn't.
Taking a look around, looking across the floor, it's a little unusual in terms of materials. It's not a material you're used to, as you haven't been to the fire plane. However, your experience in the past lets you know there's nothing here. No traps.
He kind of goes up to the candle, pulls the candle.
Sure enough, you hear it as this desk slowly begins to move to the side.
Okay. How is this candle gonna like start a fire or anything? Like, is it?
No.
Okay. You just kind of
Not in its current position. You literally just pulled it, and it's like mechanical. Just,
okay.
Yeah. You're looking down, and there is a set of stairs that leads into a blue-lit cavern tunnel, rather.
He's going to move really fast at this point, and try and like keep his time in here to a minimum. So he scrambles down the stairs.
All right. As you're sprinting forwards, you're moving for probably about 20 seconds before there's an echo of just a...
He like stops dead in his tracks and starts moving slower. And now is trying to like sneak his way down toward this snoring.
Roll a stealth check for me.
All right. Stealth. Ew. That's a 10. Can I use my advantage?
Sure.
Okay. I will use my advantage. And that is going to be 21. That's much better.
All right. There's another echo as you're carrying your way down this corridor. It's very deliberately man-made and placed here as you're heading down. There's another echo. As you get towards the end, there is a small archway. You go ahead and kind of very carefully peer your way in. You see what appears to be a writing desk. One of those kind of like L-shaped desks that is just super big and kind of stretches out across a large chunk of the room. And in the very corner of the room, you see something just above your eye level that appears to be kind of just pulsating in and out. You see a bulbous creature, disgusting and writhing. Large teeth clearly on show as it snores, luckily asleep. You see a singular closed eyelid and what appears to be some kind of appendages sunken down across its body.
Oh no. Okay.
It does not notice you. It remains asleep.
All right. Do I see what I came here for? Am I seeing a book anywhere?
On the desk, on this writing desk, there are a few different what appear to be journals and one golden book.
Okay, he's gonna be like looking at this thing that's sleeping and like get the book in line and slowly slide it off while he's still looking at it. Try and get it in his hands. Like waiting, like something's gonna happen.
You go ahead and slowly pull this book across the desk as you've now stepped into the room. It is quite literally just this desk and this creature. There's nothing else in it.
Really weird. That doesn't make me feel any better.
Slowly pulling the book across, there's another echo of just this. You go ahead and successfully take the book. You watch as some of the appendages twitch. The sound of the book being taken off, just slightly. One of them begins to rise and then slumps back to its inert position. You can see, now that you're in the room a little better, definitely large, definitely bulbous. It's drooling slightly from these large pointed teeth, its mouth just purely agape. These appendages also seem to have closed eyelids across it. As you begin to make your way slowly out of the room.
Okay.
That was a good use of advantage, good sir.
I'm so glad.
You slowly begin to make your way out. You go ahead, and I assume you pull the candle back to put everything back to how it was.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I get up to the door and I listen at the door to make sure no one is coming, so that no one sees me coming out of this room with this book.
Doesn't sound like there's anyone around.
Okay. I know.
Okay. You can go ahead and you have the book, so it's up to you whether you want to deliver it back straight away or not.
I go. So Nerthan's room is like right down the hall, right?
Yeah, it's not too far away.
Okay. He goes there, so no one sees him in the hall. Kind of knocks on the door, like taps on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an answer?
There's a moment of nothing. You hear a few footsteps, and then the door creaks open. He looks at you. He nods and holds a hand out.
He looks at it for just a moment, just to kind of get a quick glance, and then hands it to him.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
He is a simple fellow. He speaks Common and Draconic.
Okay. It's neither of those that is the word that adorns the front of this.
Try to take a mental image.
You go ahead and hand it over. He takes a look, nods again, and slides you, or hands you rather a small wrapped up like bundle of cloth. Hands that to you. And the door closes.
As soon as he gets in, the door closes, he goes, just like lets all the air out of him. And then gets back in a normal rhythm. And goes to find his friends. He doesn't look to see what it is yet. He puts it away.
Mm-hmm. There is a note on the front of it, as you do kind of take a look at the bundle. Appears to be a like mostly charred note in Oren's handwriting that just says, "Went to the in-laws."
Got it.
All right. So, speaking of the in-laws, we'll go ahead and head there next.
I'm just still dying from being dubbed the Fishter. I'm so happy. Say that so people in podcast land can hear it.
Oh man.
A Fishter.
A Fishter.
Are you a fighter? Are you a Triton? You're a Fishter.
It almost sounds like grifter.
Are you gonna throw some fisticuffs?
Oh no. No.
So I'm gonna be heading out today, guys.
Oh, is
So
that-
having
this-
me.
And with that,
This
Would that be for
entire
a
group
monk?
is grounded.
We have officially killed Drac with puns.
Officially.
Officially.
Oh, God!
oh no.
No!
We're just at this point, we're just fishing for compliments. It's
Oh, stop it.
Oh my god.
Uncle!
This is finished, okay?
Oh.
Wait,
I don't feel guilty at all.
Not guilty.
This is so
And
good.
please.
You're in favor of puns or you're not. Stop flip-flopping.
We can scale it up, we can
Stop
scale it
saying
down.
Everyone that's watching, I'm very sorry for my friend's behavior.
White flag.
That's okay. Let us off the hook. It's fine.
No.
Make it stop.
So now there has to be a fishing episode at some point.
Yes,
There just there has to be.
Rate these on a scale.
Oh. No, please.
Uncle.
It's gonna kill everyone, okay?
Uncle.
I admit that this is more pleasant than my mother-in-law.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my gosh.
Kind of
Okay.
image, but I don't know if it's a doable thing of like showing up at my in-laws' house and just bursting the door open, but then bursting the second set of doors open too, because I'm not waiting and going, Mother! Home! Where are you?
I mean, I'll definitely let you do that if you want to do it.
Yes, indeed, I do.
Although for some reason,
You're not making me do a strength check.
for some reason, I had the idea in my head of like that comedy skit where you're super angry, you're getting ready, you're hyping yourself up, you kick down the first set and go, mother, oh, second set, right. Go ahead and kick that.
I was like, I had in my head that she was gonna like try to kick the door down, but it's like way too solid, so she has to just keep kicking and then like elbowing and then collect herself again and be like, Mother, I'm home!
I just got the
Okay, you're
glaive
saying
coming
that.
through the door like the shining.
Yeah, like irresistible.
I'm
These
so
are-
upset that I can't animate. This is a gif.
I mean, this is these doors are very fancy. They're very well made in the sense that they're very nice. They're in the noble district. Not particularly sturdy, and Ishton is strong as hell. So I imagine that even if there was a bit of resistance, it doesn't matter.
I still look cool, which is really what matters. That is what matters. So, Mother, I'm home. Where are you? And then I gesture to my friends and say, there are weapons. Take a look. take what you
I'm going to shoot straight to that coiled up one, the one that I saw when the first time we arrived.
Okay.
I have no idea, I still don't know where it is. It's still very intriguing. So that's the one I'm going for immediately.
Sounds like you're hunting Mother. Mother, where are you? There are weapons. Grab them.
Sounds that way. Did she
kind-
threaten my huntsmate? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I'm not going to hurt her. I'm just going to make it clear that I could.
Ishton is a gift.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's not happy. There are a few hurried footsteps, and she just looks at you. What? You could
You
be a little bit more
threatened-
polite about it.
You threatened my huntsmate. Our deal, our little deal about all of my husband's things, it is off. Don't ever threaten him again.
I was simply thinking of your safety, of her safety.
I am fine, and so is she. Chotra, go get your paper trash. And if I come again with her, we will sleep in our room that we slept in with my husband. And she will have these things to inspire her in her life to see what her father could do with metal. They will not be hidden away in a museum anymore. Is that clear, Mother?
You see a small vein by her temple beginning to bulge.
Is it red?
Teeth.
She's a fire
Yes.
genasi, it's like-
Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Teeth gritted. Her stance has slipped into something a little bit more defensive, but also very aware that there is nothing that she can do in this scenario. There's a huff before she turns and walks away and into the room that you've been in previously to speak with her.
While we're at it, I'll take the blade from the wall that lights up when I touch it.
Okay.
Because he is saying kind to me whenever I touch the things. I won't use it.
It's so cute.
I can be so simultaneously terrifying and cute.
That's like your brand.
Ishtin. I was gonna say that is Ishtin's brand.
So
Absolutely.
threatening and yet so endearing.
That tracks.
When I get to the workshop, is there any of that material wonderful? Or is there a start to?
So as you take a look around the workshop itself, it doesn't appear that there's any material left in here. There is that blueprint that you grabbed beforehand and kind of copied over that's still present. And there's a few other blueprints for a few different kinds of basic weapons kind of across the walls. There is still the kind of creation area itself, like my first forge, essentially, as well as a few other tools strewn around, and a few other storage spaces as well. As you're looking through, you don't find anything else that particularly catches your eye.
A little flatten it out. Put them in the notebook and close it really tightly, and then use like the little belt to close it even tighter to flatten it out. Put it in and run back to everybody.
Can I retcon that I asked also for the framed blueprint of my glaive and my wedding ring?
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
So Judge grabs those as well.
Mhm.
I imagine he had to abandon a few things and then way back.
And I will go
yeah.
to our bedroom and look for anything that might be a nice thing for Ilyanin.
Okay. As you're looking through, roll a perception check for me.
12.
As you're looking through, I imagine you're combing a bit more in depth through this area now that you're kind of like, screw you, mother. As you're looking through the sleeping area, you're looking through everything. You end up going back to that mobile that created that beautiful pattern. And as you're looking across it, and you're reminiscing about more peaceful times, you notice, surprisingly, there's actually a signature. Your husband didn't leave his signature on many items. As you know, he preferred to be known by his works as just his works. As you go ahead and run a finger across it, it clicks. The mobile itself suddenly opens up.
What's in it?
In the center, there is what appears to be a small dagger.
A small dagger? Pick it up.
It is beautifully made. As in, incredibly so. Your husband was wonderful at making mundane items seem magical, or imbuing magical effects into mundane weaponry. That's how everyone loved his weapons. This, however, seems to be deliberately carved with beautiful patterns adorned into both the hilt itself and the blade. You can see across the pommel itself is an insignia, a combination of both his house and yours. Both logos entwined on the bottom of the pommel. And as you look across the blade, you see written the first name in Ingen and the second in Aquan, your daughter's name.
I'll actually take the knife, close the mobile, turn it back on, and look up at it and say, I will see to it that she gets this from my hand. Thank you. I miss you. She misses you. And she will have this. And then I leave the room.
One more thing before you do. As you're looking up and you're thinking these things or saying them out loud, however you're doing so. With the knife removed, the mobile is now slightly different. That combined logo is now a part of the mobile. And the logo stretches up and paints itself into the scene.
I love it so much. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna melt and die now. Bye, cruel world.
As you go ahead and say your words, you step out with a a more positive sense than as you walked in with this knife in hand. Everybody else. So Athenos has grabbed the coil that was on display.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else grabbing anything from the house? Now that Ishtan has essentially given you free reign.
See
What
how I
else
get
is there?
rewarded for being a bitch, though? Like, see? Story of Ishtan's life. So.
What else is there?
Oh yeah.
There are multiple weapons that are strewn pretty much throughout the house. Swords, axes, no firearms, unfortunately. Yeah. Two-handed weapons, one-handed weapons. There is a few sickles, a few scythes. There is one kind of like weird-looking sword. I think is probably the only way I could describe it in my head. It's a sword, but the blade itself appears to be slightly segmented as it goes along.
Segmented. Take a look at that. I don't want to.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
All right. So the sword is slightly segmented. There is a small, what appears to be a switch on the bottom.
Like the switch. And if it does what Jojo thinks, he's gonna pull back, and as he pushes his hands forward, he's gonna flick the switch and sees what.
As you pull the blade back, you flick your wrist forward, and as it switches, the segments collapse as this bladed whip flies forwards with a crack.
That's cool.
Is there anything more subtle, smaller? Because I don't think Airden would. Obviously, Airden's sword is her sword, and very special. But if there was something smaller, I'm thinking like either a pair of daggers or something. I don't know. I was giving you creative reign because.
There's some smaller weapons, blood weapons, piercing weapons. One of the ones that's probably interesting, you would have to go upstairs to do so. However, as you head up to the first floor, back towards where you were staying, one of the things you didn't notice before, as it's kind of tucked around a corner and mounted, is a needle. Just a small piece of metal that appears to have a very tiny kind of like holder to be able to hold it between your hands. There's a few daggers scattered around if you wanted to grab any of those as well.
Well, you piqued my interest with the needle.
Okay.
I don't know, is it just a needle?
If you want to go ahead and grab it, as you go ahead and hold it in your hand, you begin to kind of take a look at it. Go ahead and hold it in between your fingers. And as you do so, the pointed end just suddenly sticks out. A very, very, very thin, almost impossible to see blade.
This way? Like if I'm holding needle and just
you would hold it like in between your fingers, so like that, where the thumb's the needle. Essentially, it's one of those kind of like you would hold it like between your fist, and then just outwards, just.
It goes up.
Mm-hmm. So the blade extends essentially into a very small, very thin blade.
It's a single Wolverine claw.
We're talking like
Isn't
super
Honey
thin.
Badger. I think Honey Badger only has one claw, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, I
right.
think she
Fuck.
does.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this one stood out to you because the works are not particularly sneaky per se. They're very much kind of beautiful swords, beautiful axes, beautiful daggers, etc., etc., etc. Whereas this is almost like a push blade, something used by assassins. Yeah, it's a weird one.
I think I will take that one. Just because I think it's interesting. And I might also take a dagger if one particularly speaks to me. And that's it.
There are a few different designs when it comes to the daggers. Some are very basic, some of them are curved, so you can go ahead and kind of grab whichever one you want.
They're just gonna cap.
Okay. So, the interesting thing about these weapons is, as detect magic has been cast before, I believe, in their vicinity, they aren't flat out magical, but they do have this kind of like mundane glow underneath them. Some kind of, it's not quite enchantment.
It's like a.
There's something just a little bit kind of latent about it, yeah. Which is why you can assume there were reactions when Ishton touched it, for example. Ishton touched one of the weapons and it began to glow. And you've had this discussion before in Ishton's presence that his works did have this kind of latent magical essence around them, sometimes just for decoration. Colors changing, harmless sensory effects, etc. None of them appear to be magical.
Okay, none of them glow more than any. It's just gonna help.
I think Orin will kind of look around for like smaller things, like throwable things. I mean, obviously he likes shurikens, darts, and bolts. Because I'm assuming Soup is not with us. He is currently on his stealth mission.
Yeah. Okay. So there are a few kind of smaller daggers that you could go ahead and use as throwing weapons, essentially. Doesn't appear to be anything particularly exotic when it comes to throwing weapons. Doesn't seem to be a specialty here. As I say, there are a few kind of like small different kinds of daggers. There's a few small throwing picks as well. Other than that, nothing really in terms of the throwing department.
Okay, he's gonna just test something out real quick. He's gonna take the shuriken out of the bag, put it in his pocket, and then put the dagger in the bag. Take the dagger out and throw it. And then look in the bag.
Okay.
Is the dagger in the bag?
Okay. So you go ahead and you pull the shuriken out. You go ahead and do what you're saying. You launch this dagger. And as it hits, you go ahead and reach into the pouch and pull out a dagger.
All right. He's going to pocket the dagger, put the shuriken back in the bag, and he's looking for crossbow bolts now.
Okay.
Crossbows? Oh no, you.
So the bad news is no ammunition. While there are wonderful collections of weaponry here, there is unfortunately no ammunition for ranged weapons.
Doesn't Soup have a sword?
Because all the things.
Yeah, he has a bunch of different weapons.
That's true. So I think Orin will kind of look for something that's like his size, not his style, but his size, and maybe that Soup might like, and kind of just grab him.
Yeah, that's fair.
case.
That's fair. What would Stoop like in terms of weaponry? I don't know. We've seen him mostly use crossbows, so
Yeah, that's why I was looking for bolts.
But I mean, any like dagger or short sword, like he would be.
Yeah.
Be into it.
maybe a few short swords around if you wanted to grab one of those.
It's
Sure.
kobold size.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Long sword that's twice the
Kobold size,
Yeah.
halfling size, about the same. So if I'm like, oh, I fucking hate
Yeah, there's-
swords, but
there's-
I guess
there's
this should be
definitely
all right.
enough
Grab him a nice
Mhm.
equal wah.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely
still
a few,
can't pronounce.
short
I
swords.
still can't pronounce that.
Yikowa.
Yakoila.
And the kukri. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the boomerang.
And a boomerang. Yeah, so you can go ahead and collect this weaponry up. As I say, there's a latent magic about them. Just kind of like sensory effects that seem to be coming off of the weaponry itself in order to make it look a little bit more intimidating, so to speak. You find that as you're holding it in your hand, your thoughts actually begin to manipulate these sensory effects, almost reminding you of the glamour weave that you've taken beforehand. So yeah, when you're wielding these weapons, you can give them a sensory effect or a latent or mundane magical effect.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
And it is completely up to you, so you can let your creativity go wild. The only consistent would be Ashton, as you're looking over all the weaponries that everyone, weaponries, plural? Weaponry, it's already plural. As you're looking over all the weaponry, the one consistent thing is they do all glow to your touch.
My touch or anyone's touch?
Specifically yours.
I love this so much.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna look over the coiled weapon because I'm trying to figure out where it is.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Roll.
Do I just punch someone with it? What do I do?
Bring
Can
it
I
on!
roll?
Come on!
Starts
You
fighting
can
like
figure it out.
flames.
That's
Listen,
okay.
listen. Can I
okay.
practice? I don't know what this does. Just give me a
Go ahead.
sec.
Go ahead. I feel strong.
I tell you what. In lieu of a luck stat, go ahead and roll me a charisma check.
I'm pretty good at that.
Considering charisma as luck here, essentially.
21.
Whether you can bluff the gods into making this win. Okay. So you've already had a fiddle with this before. It's really bothering you. You should go ahead and kind of begin to mess around with it. You realize that you can go ahead and essentially slot it into your hand.
Onto my.
So you go ahead and camera. You slot it there, and there is a small bar that you can go ahead
to
and
hold
kind of wrap your hand around. As you're looking, you're still like, it's not doing anything. All right, what if I go ahead and just kind of punch with it? And as you flick your wrist forward, there appears to be essentially a slight spark as a solid blade protrudes. And as you're looking at it, you watch as it pulsates once. And the lava-esque material of your snake tail that you have used before begins to cover across the blade.
Holy fucking shit.
Bent was a genius.
Picked up your Nate and what did he do? That's incredible.
I married well. Also, he was very cute.
He'd have to. Well, he wouldn't have to be, but I mean,
No, but he was. He was both genius
Nice.
and cute.
So, could I wear this without it being seen, or is it something that's like very obvious? Like if I rolled up my sleeves, is this something I can cover with my sleeves?
So the way that it's designed, you would be able to roll your sleeve up, and it would just cover your knuckles as if you were wearing like a set of rings or something. It's designed to be conspicuous, not massively conspicuous, but conspicuous enough.
I mean, I'm glad I'm taking this one. This one's actually pretty interesting. I'm gonna pull out the forked short sword that I have. I'm like, I mean, a sword for a sword, I guess. I'm gonna put it back wherever I found. Put the other one back where I found this one.
Just imagine my mother-in-law, like the next day, being like,
Jotra's gonna go over to the wall where you put the fork sword, and he's like, I still wanted to look at it. And he's gonna take it off the wall, and he's gonna just like study it because it's all like so well crafted as well. And he's just obsessed right now. Just...
You can have it, I guess. Yeah.
It's like reverse piracy going on. What's going on? What is this?
I'll trade here, and then you trade for that, and we'll trade for this.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
Jotra is looking at the forked sword, yes.
Yes, yeah.
It's very nice, it's not magical. It's just a very nice sword.
Yeah,
Save
I
it
think.
for soup.
Yeah, I think while this is going on, like Eridan's also just like very thoughtfully looking at all the pieces. And she's very quiet, and I think she's kind of off to her, by herself.
All right. Some...
Must touch everything.
Just this for an hour. Just this.
Sensory overload.
Some time passes as you collect your pieces. Eventually, you reconvene back in the entryway altogether. It's probably about now that Soup wanders into the broken open doors.
He's just like looking at the doors, like what? He gets his bow out, and I was like, he's like slowly going into the house. Like, am I about to go into something?
You see your party deliberating over weaponry.
Something happened?
Kinda.
Orin points, kind of thumbs over to Ishtin. She happened.
Oh,
we are taking back what rightfully belongs to me.
right. Yeah.
Right. Not stealing. My husband made it, so no stabbing me in the hand. We are taking back what belongs to me. That is.
I ain't gonna stab you in the hand.
Okay, just in case. I don't know where I got that or why I thought you might do something like that. No, it's not a thing that you do, but cool. Did you steal the thing? I'm sorry. Did you steal the thing?
Oh my god.
He just looks at you and just like,
He's alive.
Yes. So I guess that means yes. All right. I will talk about it another time. I'm a little bit, I don't know, feeling empowered at the moment. Now what, everybody?
Oh, Asnos has a new sword, so I saved you this, and he hands you the fork. If you want it, Adam.
he like kind of tosses it in his hand for a sec.
is not my husband. That is your. It's
Yeah, that was mine. Yeah, I got
Yes.
this, and this is just way nicer.
It is way better. Yes.
Yeah.
He's like trying to fit it into the slots that are all straight on his armor. And he's just like, oh. He just puts it in his back.
And Orn will hand up the what was it? A Yiklewa?
Yakubalalala.
I have short spear things, yes.
I figured I can kind of swing this around, so you might like it. I grabbed it for you.
Like, you guys keep handing him stuff, and he's just like, he looks really confused. He's just like,
Don't remember asking for anything. Thank you.
We were on our weapons raid, and you weren't here, so we thought we'd grab you something that you might like.
Okay.
and he just kind of like gives you like a little punch.
Where is Ishton standing?
I just, in my head, imagine they were all sort of gathered in the entryway at the bottom of the staircase. Just
Okay.
right there out in the open.
Okay. I think then Eridan would probably be, if you're like by the staircase and everyone's kind of like in front in that hallway, I think I'd be like sort of near you.
In fact, partway up the staircase where my husband's picture used to hang on the wall. And right before then, I'm just checking. I'm just looking at it funny to see why I think that picture got moved, just in case. But yeah, that's where I'd be standing. I'm sort of, after all of the hubbub sort of dies down, I'm sort of staring at that.
These really are beautiful. Eridan will
Right?
say,
They are.
yeah.
I will use them. We will use them to get my powers back, so that I will gain my powers by my husband's hands.
That's poetic.
Oh, well, yes, that's what I meant to be. It was poetry. I have a hidden talent.
I believe it.
My dog agrees.
You have a dog.
Oh, yes, I just, in the house sometimes, Ilyanin really enjoyed pets.
Oh, I mean, can you pet a dog from the fire plane though?
Well, you can if you are from the fire plane. Fire Genasi does not have them at all. For her, it just makes her hand, there's just steam that comes up when she does it.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, yes, no, she's got the steam a lot. It's very adorable.
Is
I
this
bet.
the corgi service that we mentioned earlier?
Did you want something, Aridan? I think more than just to tell me how wonderful my husband was, though you can keep doing that. That does not bother me.
No. I'm just thinking out loud. It's a really beautiful way to be remembered, I think.
The things that you create,
Yeah.
very true. Some of us, we have more talent for destroying things and will be remembered for that. I envy the ones who will be remembered for building things instead.
Do you think it's something that you can choose?
To some extent, Ilyanin, she could choose. She has both in her. She could choose both. People like me, I'm good at breaking things. I'm good at stabbing them. I'm good at making them dead. I will be remembered for this. I will use it the best I can.
Is that all you want to be remembered for?
It depends who is doing the remembering. Yes.
That's true.
I cannot pick and choose what I am remembered for.
Aridan. All of my choices will be remembered one way or another, no matter what I think of them when I finally leave this earth.
That's true.
I can pick. Depends.
On who you ask.
Yes. So you pick the ones to be close enough to that they remember more of what you want than what you don't. Or what they remember you don't is good to remember anyway. That too. You have one person that you have picked. You need more than one, Aridan.
I know. I'm working on it. And she's taken the needle and like she has like the chains that kind of the really dainty chains that are part of her shirt. Almost kind of like a necklace. And the needle is hanging there and she's sort of twisting it.
I lean in and look. You picked a good one. Between you and
so.
What?
I thought so.
Between you and me, he cursed for days while he was trying to make that one perfect.
I imagine it was very intricate. It's so small.
Yes, it kept breaking in two, and he kept rebuilding it. Lots of work went into this, and I remember him for this, even if he would not want me to remember. And now you remember him for this because of that.
I keep wanting to say that I'm sorry, but I know it doesn't change anything.
Sorry.
For your loss.
You are not a bandit on the street. You did not kill my husband. You have other things in your past to account for, but not that.
A tragedy is still a tragedy.
A tragedy is something that happens outside of someone's control. This was in someone's control. And I have taken my vengeance on that one. There is no more sorry to be said. It is done.
May I inquire what happened?
To my husband?
Yeah.
My husband was a healer of sorts. He healed with his words. When someone's heart was hurting, he would help. And there was a time when our crops in the area we lived were failing, when people did not have money to spend, when they were struggling. And he would travel to speak with them, to heal them with his words. The roads became more and more dangerous. And one day, he and a companion were traveling, and they were set upon by a bandit who killed him and wounded his friend. But we did not have money. He did not sell any of these things. We did not care to sell them. We used our money on materials for him. And you know, the odd thing there and here for my daughter. All the bandit took was his wedding ring, which he was found wearing days later. He was tried. He was convicted. He served 3 years for my husband's death. While he served, he was trained. Do you know what they trained him to be? They trained him to work the forge. And when he was released, they gave him a forge to work. after his 3 years. This was not justice for my husband. So, I did what is only right. I gave my husband justice.
That's awful.
It
But-
was.
That seems such a short sentence for such a senseless murder.
The authorities thought of 2 things when they made this choice. One, they thought, for some reason, that the murder was less foul because it was done in the process of stealing. The second they thought was, oh, we are so enlightened and so special. We are so good at rehabilitating all criminals. So they gave him the 3 years. No appeal of mine would matter. I did what I had to do. If I had been following the ways of my people from the very beginning, I would have simply taken his life before they even tried him. I gave them a chance to do the right thing. They did not.
That doesn't make any sense.
People's idea of what is good and what is evil vary from person to person and group to group.
Hey,
They believe-
Ashton,
Soup?
can I still cook in this place?
I don't see why not.
He looks over at them.
You hungry?
Yes.
And he goes to the kitchen.
I go looking for a picture of my husband that I'm going to keep.
There are many. A creepy amount. Like, I don't want to be rude, but your stepmom's got a few issues they need to work out.
Well, I'm trying to work them out for her by force.
Uh-huh.
Tough love.
Hey,
No,
look, I
plenty
don't
of
have to be
paintings.
therapeutic in my free time, okay?
Yeah. True. Yeah, there are plenty of paintings scattered around. You can go ahead and grab whichever one you fancy. Yeah, soup. You can go ahead and cook up some food for folks. What's the recipe? What are we cooking?
So he kept a little bit of this Lazoan, and he thinks it's still good. He's going to try and make a form of like bacon from it.
Fish bacon. Cool. Got it.
And he's gonna like wrap a few things in it to try and see how the flavor enhances other like vegetables and other like meats and stuff. And so he'll just like make kind of a sample platter out of that.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Everyone can go ahead and chow down on Slizoa bacon.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
How do I ban cast members for bad puns?
I'll find a way.
Oh, fine. Perfect. I love it. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so you can go ahead and cook up what is left there. Tastes okay.
Yeah, I figured it'd just
I
be
mean,
alright.
it's fish bacon. Imagine how fish bacon tastes. And that's basically where we're at.
Wrapped around,
Dragony
like-
fish bacon.
wrapped around different things too. So it's basically
Mhm.
like bacon wraps dates, but with fish bacon.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
And like, the further along you get, the more random it is. So it's like, it starts off quite nice, and there's a nice mixture, and then like at the end, there's literally just fish bacon wrapped around a whole potato. Just
Exactly.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hey, they can't all be masterpieces, folks. While he is cooking, I do want to. Is Jotra anywhere around?
Yeah, Jotra would be at the table. He's obsessively like trying to figure out how his sword works, his new whip sword thing. So he's just like he's at the sword, and you'll see he's just going over it, and he has like his notebook out, and he's just clicks it on, and then extends out the whip part, and he's just making this huge diagram. Then he flicks it shut, like so. It's just like while you're doing, you just hear, oh, interesting, and then and he's just like analyzing how it works.
He's gonna ask him just.
Hey, can you quit flinging that thing around for a second?
Sorry. Yeah, what?
All right. Saw this critter. I was doing something, and thought maybe you might know what it was.
Oh, probably not. But what is it? It sounds interesting.
I never seen it before.
And he like makes like a rough kind of drawing of what he saw in the office.
See that one eye like that, and then a bunch of little other eyes like this, and they raise up. Had a bunch of teeth too. Truly.
Do I recognize this creature at all?
I don't think you would have encountered it, no.
No, never seen that before. Well, there's a lot more. Maybe Athnos. He's been around a lot more places than I have been. Ishton seems to have been seeing a lot of things. Orin's been traveling quite a bit from what he said.
He just
Eridan might not. Oh, bye.
He just goes from person where he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, just from person to person. I don't think anyone. No, I don't think anyone would have encountered one of these before.
He pins it in his cookbook.
I want to see what this tastes like. Awesome. There is also the. Just because you're talking with Jotra, if you wanted to go ahead and copy out what you saw as well on the book. The book title.
If Eridan is not around, yes, he would do that. Jotra.
If Eridan is not around.
What is it?
Eridan is the book lady.
The book lady.
Joshua, what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Dwarvish, Novish, Sylvan, and Undercommon. Is Undercommon a thing? Check that before I took it. So last I heard it was an Australian accent, so I want to double check.
Well, funnily enough, the title is in Undercommon.
Yes.
So yes.
All right.
So Soup goes ahead and kind of draws this word out as best he can. You kind of begin to recognize as you're kind of. It's kind of like a child's attempt at spelling their name. You know what I mean? Like you don't know the language, so you're just kind of trying your best with what you've been told. And you're going ahead and checking it over. It simply says the word hereafter.
Hereafter? I didn't know you Undercommon. I can help teach you a little more. You need a little adjustment here, and Jotra's going to show him where to fix the little letters and shapes so it looks a little bit better and more accurate. It says hereafter.
What does that mean?
Well, usually it's a declaratory statement saying, you know, from here and every point after this. Usually it's like, you know, hereafter I will do this thing or be known as, or, you know, like it's commonly used in knighting ceremonies where like hereafter you shall be sir this of that, sort of thing.
So it's like plans.
It could be used for plans, yeah.
Who talking that language?
Well, do we speak it? City of
Undercommon. Undercommon is a strange language. Essentially, it's been used for centuries and millennia as almost a way of communicating in code. It's kind of like, I don't really want to call it slang because that's not very appropriate, but that kind of vibe anyway. The thing is about Undercommon is no one knows where it came from. So you kind of just, it's kind of like Latin. It's a dead language. No one's like fully fluent in it in Vega, but you know enough to get by.
It's kind of, there's no set number or type of people who really speak it. It's used a lot for just kind of secret communication. Keep it on the down low. So we had to pick it up at the inn because there were people who didn't know any other languages but Undercommon. So we learned enough to kind of converse and find out what they.
Okay.
Just, why do you ask? Where did you find this? If I can ask.
What?
No, you know what I said.
He just like walks away from you.
And as he's walking away, I know you know what I'm doing. I just want you to know that.
He just goes back to cooking.
At least the food's gonna be good. Mutters to himself and he just goes back to the diagram.
And there's just one moment while Jotre is on the diagrams. Ishtin would approach and say two things. One, remind me later, because I also have sort of a book for you to see. You just have to look at everyone's books or scrolls now, but we will do that later. But the other, and I pull out the dagger that I found and show him, because of what you told me, I will make sure that she grows around these things. But he is not around to teach her. Will you?
Yes. Yes. Of course. I
promise.
Promise you. I promise. And he like puts his hand up. Pinky.
All right, I will pinky swear with you.
His pinky's probably almost too small to get around.
Well, and she's got like webbing like way up to here, so it's just like the tip of her pinky.
He's like, okay, no, and then shake on it.
It's a little. Yes, all right, we will shake it.
Okay. Where did you find? Gosh. I have to. Do you mind if I see if it's? I can't tell if it's magic or not. The craftsmanship is just so fine. I'm very curious, but it's.
I think it just is what it is. Yes,
it doesn't have to be anything more. It's so. And he sets it down, and he just like delicately like it's like this art, like a holy artifact, as he puts it on the table, and he's just gonna like start he's not even gonna. He's in such awe. He's not even gonna try to ritually cast. He's gonna straight cast detect magic. And identify. Blowing. I think that's all of his spell slots for the rest of the day.
Awesome.
He is just way too excited.
Then an ancient dragon smashes into the.
I have more spell slots to figure out.
Roll initiative.
He's just gonna quickly.
No spell slots. The DM's favorite word.
No. And poisoned. It's gonna be a good day.
Looks like we almost made it.
I am not that cruel, but shocking everyone. It's magical. This is the one item that is actually magical.
It's identified.
It appears to be a conjuration spell.
You look excited.
It's actually magical. There's some sort of conjuration or something attached to it.
All right.
I think.
Okay.
He could have. I mean, I have a lot of theories, but none of them have any basis in reality. I want to make that very certain right now, just because when I think conjuration, I think bringing something, here. And so what if there's like instructions or like a teacher or something in the dagger that can help? What if there's something? I think it's something for her, and it might, because of the way he worked on things that activated when you touch them. This might be something when she touches it. This is all supposition, but I don't know.
Let me
So-
try just in case.
Sorry, so Identify does tell you exactly what spell is involved here. It appears to be shield. However,
Shield?
its construction, so to speak, is strange. It's almost artificer in nature. This isn't a pure arcane spell here. This appears to have been constructed and manipulated, almost as if it's been replicated somehow.
Okay, so artificery is a bit different from regular magic, and that's what he appears to have used here. This isn't just like a straight magic. It's and I think it has something to do with the shield spell. Shield, it could increase, armor, of course. You know about shield. Who am I talking?
I know.
But it's incredible. It's worked into the interworkings of a dagger. I don't know how, but it somehow draws on the latent lines of energy of conjuration, but also somehow through a biological entity. I think I can't tell. There's so much here that there is to unpack, but it is an incredible, amazing piece of work. It's a masterpiece.
The two of you would also know, being magic users / ex-magic users, shield is an abjuration spell. It does not belong to the school of conjuration, so this is very strange.
Just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna nick part of my palm just a little tiny bit to see if drawing blood with it does anything.
Okay. You go ahead and scratch across your hand, draw some blood. The dagger doesn't seem to react.
Would I be able to tell if it's single use or if it seems to is like, because I'm afraid of Filter's innately afraid of discharging it severely.
It has one charge.
Be careful. It only has one charge.
Oh, all right, good to know.
Yeah. I don't think you could activate it if you wanted with the brilliance that went behind it, but just be very careful with it.
I will be.
I mean, of course you will be. Who am I talking to? I'm just so... That is... And then look at... And he holds up the sword and flicks it down. And if you've seen this one, but I didn't know what it did. And I've been in just... And then he pulls out the sheet and he pops open his journal and it's been flattened out. Look at this. And then he closes it back. And then he hands her the diagram and everything that she asked for from the workshop. And those... And you just... It's a shame he didn't want people to know his name, because everybody would.
He was just humble that way. You will make this with her?
Yes, no, of course. We just need to get the right material before we leave.
Oh, all right. We will find some for sure. We should.
Let's go shopping! And he like hops down and he runs for the door.
My heart is singing.
And like he gets like halfway across the room before he realizes nobody's following him and he turns around. Oh, did we still want to go shopping?
What with the eating?
Give me a
Oh,
sec,
food,
I'm
yeah! And he
hungry.
runs back
Yeah.
and hops back under the table.
Unless you don't want to eat,
Wow.
I'll happily eat your
No.
section. You sure?
Sure.
You sure you can keep it down?
No, but I gotta try.
While that's all going on, where's Orin?
Orin is currently in the living room, kind of just sat down on a chair with his hand lit on fire and just staring at the flames.
I think Aridin is kind of wandering through the halls and rooms, admiring wherever things are hung up on the wall, or kind of lost in thought when she sees you, and she's gonna walk over and sit next to you.
Oh, hello there. I know, distinguish it.
Hey, are you all right?
Yeah, just a lot to unpack.
Seems like it.
You know, the whole... Go on! You're the unrooted one. Go and find out why this fissure has happened. And then we meet Saya's sister, and she's a fucking volcano. And then we travel to the fire plane to meet the hero I've always heard about for the last 13 years. She wants to take over the rest of the planes, but now it's all because they served some underground snake? Goy, I don't know what to believe anymore. I guess, and he lights his hand back up again, because I found some kind of peace with this. When everyone in the fire plane was saying Sispy was some kind of conqueror, it bothered me that I had that same power within me. No, I think there's a piece to it. See, flame never stops moving. Just like me, I guess. And he'll put it out.
Is it ever a bad thing?
I think I doubted it for a while. But I think it'll help me. And I'm actually glad to know ya. And I wanted to say I'm sorry for what they've done in here. I know the feeling when someone messes with your head.
Messes with your head.
Yours, of course, is a little bit more advanced than mine, but I was forced to steal something against me will. And he pulls out the little cone.
What? By who?
Have you heard of... Oh, what the fuck are they called? The... Illit... They've got fucking tentacles coming out of your face. Yeah, something. Crap. I read it and I forgot it. They mess with your mind. Shortly after I left the monastery, I was camping and heard a voice in me head and it said, just compelled me to find this museum and steal this artifact. Guards chased me out. I jumped off a balcony. I cracked my head open. And at that point, I realized, holy crap, I didn't really want to steal this thing, but it sure is pretty. So I ran, but I knew that it was that creature.
It didn't.
And sorry, go ahead.
It didn't say why.
I don't know why it wants it. But the way that it used me, it doesn't deserve something like this. If it's got power, I ask Sisby about it. She doesn't know. And I'll hand it to Eridan. Does it... Can she see the words that are written on it?
Yes.
Myriad?
Out. It's out, Myriad, and shoot, what was the last one?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that.
So the 3 words are two, out, and myriad.
2 out. Myriad.
Out was the first one that appeared, and I took it as it wanted to be free, so I took her with me. And then shortly after I met you all, word Myriad appeared. Don't know what that means.
Could describe the group, I suppose.
And just the other day, the word tool popped up.
I cast Identify.
It doesn't exist.
What?
You literally cannot cast it because there is nothing to target.
So I think when Eridan, the cone, she puts it in her mechanical hand. And so on the palm, if anyone's seen like Battle Angel Alita, like, you know how like the palm is all broken up. I think when casting these sort of ritual spells, I think like all of the parts start shifting. And it turns and turns, and as she's casting Identify, the parts click together and it sort of makes a circle in her palm. And that glows, and that's when it hits her. There's nothing. So then the palm starts to move again as she tries casting it again. For another 10 minutes, nothing.
It must be so awkward for Orin, just like for 20 minutes.
Not 20.
What is that?
I'm trying to. It's nothing. It doesn't. It doesn't exist.
You're holding it in your hand. You're telling me it doesn't exist. You're looking at it. You can read the fucking words on it.
Yes, but with the spell, with Identify, usually whatever is in the circle, it comes up as something because it is in the circle. It's there. And it will tell me something about it. I might as well be casting the spell on nothing, on air, nothing. It's not pinging. It's not. I don't feel anything.
That's...
If I cast Identify on a rock, I still feel that it is a rock. Does that make sense?
Even non-magical items. So just...
if I were to cast this on a mundane item, I can still tell that there's still something that registers that, you know, this is just an item. This is just a piece of paper. This is just a rock. I just cast the spell on air.
No, it's something, and he'll take it back and put it back in his pocket. That's... your spell's just not working right. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later.
That's a whole lot of questions. I really feel like something... I don't know what all the different pieces mean. I think there's, and obviously there's bigger things going on, but I think all of the bigger things going on with each of us, I just have a feeling they're all connected, and we don't know how yet.
Well, I think that's very possible. From...
I saw your fourth goddess in that vision, or something resembling. I felt it.
All I saw was the shadows swallowing the moons. You said you saw 4 pillars of fire.
I did. The sisters are tied to Athenos' patron, me and Ishton.
Apparently me and Athenos as well.
I think it's a matter of time before, you know, Soup and whatever Jotra with the opal. I'm sure that has to do with something.
All I can say is I think it's a damn good thing that we've come together. Whether it's meant to be or not, I feel fortunate to have the rest of you by my side.
To not be walking alone.
I always enjoyed being alone. Did it for a long time. But I guess I never really met people worth a damn before. You're all worth a damn.
Thank you. You're worth it too.
Thank you.
We're gonna figure this out.
So really fucking nothing.
No, nothing. Not a thing. Have you shown Jotra?
Not yet. Perhaps I will.
I wonder if Jotra and I can do some tests.
Jotra, you feeling all right then, lad?
Oh, a little poison, but other than that,
I'm sorry, we'll find something soon.
I'm not worried about it. There's too many fascinating things going on to be too concerned about being poisoned right now. Have you seen these weapons?
Let's get him taken care of.
Yeah.
Jotra kind of pops his head in from the kitchen. Why, was there anything you needed? What can I help?
When you're feeling better,
Okay.
we could use your help.
Oh, okay. Glad to help always. Just let me know. Pops his head back and heads back towards the kitchen.
I think as Athanos is eating, he's probably still playing with the blade, like retracting it and over again. And then he kind of stops and stares at the kind of magma rock that seems to form around the blade. And he just stares for a moment, and then I think it happens too quickly for him to hide it. He just has, you can tell on his face that he has a, maybe not realization, but something crossed his mind that actually kind of scared him. And then he catches himself and then tries to, as calmly as possible, remove the blade and set it down. And just moves it to the other side of the table.
Psychically.
You alright?
Instead of telepathically, he says this out loud so everyone can hear. Back at that village with the druids, when they did that ritual for me, I saw a vision. Ishchin and I saw a vision. It started off with a large black silhouette, and it was fighting some beast. And then it skipped forwards, and that beast had been defeated by this blackish silhouette. And it started eating it. And then the silhouette began to turn glow red and ate its own tail. And then the vision ended. That's my patron. That's the core snake. Do any of you know about UNT?
Well, we know you exist. No.
Do any of you know why? How?
You had a mom and a dad?
I didn't have many UNT friends or I didn't have any family, but I didn't have many UNT friends when I was younger. I was maybe one of two in my orphanage. But one of the things I learned from them specifically was that we were sort of an accident. We were made, I don't know if we were humans or human adjacent before, but whatever was before us wanted to be more like, and then he points at the scar. They want to be more like the core snake. Whether I don't know if they wanted to be gods, to be closer to the core snake, I don't know. But it went wrong, and I guess the Yuan-Ti was made instead. In that same ritual, the core snake said I'm the best option, and I turned into a lava snake at his will. Am I the closest to the core snake? Is he trying to use me as a way to get back here, or am I gonna end up becoming his avatar?
Not if we have anything to say about it.
Well, he doesn't seem to have control over you now. I mean, while you
He
became...
didn't before, and then I became that snake. I didn't choose to do that.
One would assume if you needed control and it was something very important, you would take direct control unless you were absolutely able to. It must be a large concertion of power or effort, or he's only able to do it for small amounts of time. So I'd say for the most part, for you to become his avatar, he would have to find some way to break the restriction of whatever the restriction is on him right now to take you over directly. And if he was able to do that, I don't think he would need an avatar from the sounds of it.
From what we learned, the goddesses are sapping energy from him. That might be the restriction he's fighting against.
Maybe in the meantime, I wonder if we'd be able to develop some sort of protection for you while he's weaker.
I hate to say it because they were creepy, but perhaps you need to talk to the druids who understood and were able to do something to reduce his control over you, at least temporarily.
Might reduce the power that you have. Or your power might come from your blood. Maybe the Yuan-Ti also a drop. He's trying to focus it into one person.
Do you think we'd be able to make something where Athenos can draw power towards him, so that direction is still open, but
nothing can be drawn out of him?
Yes.
Well, I don't think the issue is drawing out of him. I think the issue is putting something into him other than just power.
Perhaps the sisters could help.
There are things that can block your thoughts from others and even your location. I don't know if it would work, but something we can research. We might be able, because he works mainly through magic, maybe we could bypass it with artificery, because it doesn't work on the same basis as his magic. I have a lot of research to do.
Oren, how do you think the goddesses could help?
Well, Sisby said they've been in their state drawing power. I don't know, perhaps they could break out of it and there could be some kind of filter or something that perhaps you could utilize. I don't know.
The fourth sister. He isn't drawing for... If the three all at once drew as much power as they could while the fourth sister attacked, maybe it could be...
We don't know who the fourth sister is.
No, but they're a very powerful entity that didn't bind themselves to the snake.
They did, they mentioned the other tree.
Oh,
Council.
That's what I meant to ask Nerthan.
Where the other tree is.
If he knew their name.
You think your father-in-law would know?
The name of a fourth tree?
He's part of the...
We could ask, but if it is not a legal document, he probably has never heard of it.
Can't hurt to ask. I wonder if... I mean, he's in the council building, right? We could go ask him still.
He is at work.
Do you know who else is in the council building who knows of the fourth sister, the fourth tree? That other reptilian fella.
Oh, the annoying one.
The strange one. Yeah.
I think all of us together can take him.
One of them was a secret dragon. I want to throw that out there.
It is a good point.
That's
Yes.
true.
We assume
But-
that we could.
But we're on
Food for thought.
we're on his good side. Soup, you did the favor, right?
What?
Didn't you do a favor
For
for
nothing.
Nerthan?
The Underflame, you know,
Sure.
dragon.
A cute one.
He twitches a little bit when you say that.
I saw that. Okay.
Is it possible to proliferate blood through? I mean, sorcerers make it possible. So what if they were trying to establish another sorcerer kind of type of bloodline, but it didn't work the way they wanted it to? Maybe they were trying to balance a blood magic in or snake, but it didn't go right, and so the snake actually got more of a hold of them than they did drawing from.
You know what? Let's table this. It was just a thought I had to get out.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Jotro and I will look into this. Whatever comes next, we won't let that happen to you.
Ray, does this sound familiar to what Sue's been reading?
In what regard?
So Crystal was infusing of magic into organic material. So does this sound kind of familiar-ish or possibly?
Oh,
related
you
to,
mean it's
like-
in relation to Chrysil?
Yeah.
No, not
Okay.
in this particular. I mean, there are similarities, but Chrysil is very much a recent development that mortals have essentially discovered. It's very much rooted in artificer-based magic. So,
Have I
Nothing
read
else?
anything about UNT or anything? Have any come by the inn or anything that I've heard in stories or anything that maybe I can
you can roll a history check if you'd like.
disadvantage because I'm poisoned. Almost was good, but then it's only 13. And that's with a plus 8.
Oh, shit.
Ouch.
Super.
Ouch.
Oh boy. I mean, you know about as much as everyone kind of knows about UNT. They do have a history with some kind of material that turned them into UNT. They then decided to go ahead and attempt to make a different variant, essentially, of this material. And that's what ended up that's actually what ended up giving them citizenship in Vega. They're relatively, I wouldn't say secretive, that's not the right word, but they don't really share a lot about their history and where they've come from. And the fact that a lot of them don't really have traditional family units means that a lot of that isn't actually passed down. Yeah. Sorry. So UNT in the modern day are known for a serum known as Rebirth. That is what they're known for in Vega in total. It's actually mostly used by folks who are considered non-conforming or transgender. It is a serum that's actually used to, as soon as you take it, you slowly convert to the appearance and gender you were meant to be, so to speak. It is a way for transgender folks to transition in a way that is healthy, gives them self-confidence, and that's how UNT eventually began to develop their current culture, being able to assist people in these transitions. There's a few of them dotted around the Magic Arcanum, but the majority of the UNT are relatively reclusive.
Athenos,
Yeah.
I want you to siphon it off through me as much as you can.
No.
There are two of us. We are stronger than one. And if you think I'm going to let that thing occupy me, you have another think coming. So, I want you to siphon it off through me as much as you can.
Ishton, no.
Actually, that's quite interesting. She might not be able to be turned particular. Doesn't have that genetic or accidental tie at a blood level. She might be completely immune to that type of effect and only be able to draw.
Or it could hurt her more. I'm practically, compared to me and her, I'm probably more built to actually contain this power in comparison to Ishton. Ishton, no. I'm not siphoning it through.
Jen, you have to roll that intimidation check against your computer again.
Work.
There you go.
It's not required, but I can.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
I couldn't make out what you said. It was a lot of screaming, but I heard it.
I contain it just fine, Athenos. No self-sacrifice. I have already been with someone who did this. Stay with me and let me stay with you.
Until we're sure that actually works, I'm not doing that. We can't hear you.
The only way to be sure is to try it.
It just feels right that Ishton has to scream all the time. Ishton is always all caps. It's just the way it is.
Plugged in my microphone, hopefully that.
Yeah, you sound better now.
That's way better.
The only way to find out is to try it, Athenos. Do you really want to fight me on this? Because I will keep fighting.
Sorry, but there's no way you can make me siphon it through you.
Now that is a challenge.
If you're taking it as a challenge, take the challenge, but I'm not siphoning it through you. This is my burden to carry, a burden that I unknowingly put on you already. I'm not going to add any more to it.
Spoke about this before.
That was before. Ish, and I'm not sharing it with you.
So it comes up to Ishton and holds up a piece of food, like kind of gingerly, and it's just like,
That look cooked to you?
I have no idea. I don't eat things cooked very often, so.
just pops it back.
There are items that store magic, like spell storing rings and things of that nature. What if we could siphon it off into them? And then it would be magic once removed from the caster, and then we could discharge it into nothingness or just dispel the magic from the whatever item that it's pulled off into. What if we could create something that pulls the magic out of you without you having to do anything? Or similar concept, just no Ishton. I have so much research to do, and he's gonna like there were books in like the study and stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's just gonna hop down. He's gonna just over to the books and try to find some books.
And book. Doesn't matter what's in it, just a book.
Mostly concerning magic items and that sort of thing, but
you're not very successful, unfortunately, just because this isn't a very magical household, in case you've noticed.
Also, any artificer sort of like still like because they're the items that can block off being sensed and stuff like that.
It sounds like we have some things to do before we leave.
Yeah, let's do something a little bit more light-hearted. Let's go shopping. We have the money for it.
Jotra's head pops back in. Shopping?
Let's
Yeah.
get you fixed up. Come on.
Let's find him something. And then we can go interrogate the salamander.
Okay.
All right. So, everybody wraps up their meal, wraps up what they're doing. You can go ahead, grab your stuff, and head into back into the market district. Strangely, no resistance as you leave. No footsteps, no call-outs, nothing like that. Appears to be that Ishton's intimidation worked there. You can go ahead and head
they
out.
all knew that the last word had been said.
Jotra will mend the door on the
Good. I was going to say would ask him to fix it.
but not all the way. I mean, what, just one like little clear splinter, like where it was just this nice clean finish, just this one reminder that Ishton was here. Ishton is coming back.
You can slowly begin to mend everything back into place. You begin to make your way to the market district. You've already seen this once before, before you were pulled into the arena. The area seems quiet in comparison to the last couple of times you've been there. The stores are still set up and are scattered pretty much across this huge swath of land. Various different dealers, creators, and other such individuals. You can see almost a mob at the very end of one of these aisles, essentially. And this mob appears to be kind of cheering on this individual, but it's only when you get closer that you can really hear them cheering. As you're walking forwards and taking a look, there are still people manning all of these different stalls. The cheering begins to get louder and louder as this mob begins to almost stomp their feet. You can feel it rhythmically underneath you. And as you kind of, perhaps curiosity, perhaps just instinct, as you're looking through and around these stalls, you kind of look over. You see what appears to be another of the Fire Plains interesting competitions that are held, as Ishton would know, are held relatively regularly in the Super City in order to keep it pretty exciting and to keep the blood flowing, so to speak. You see two individuals appear to be having some kind of cook-off.
Yes.
They appear to be running around this cauldron and cooking materials, grabbing whatever they can, going ahead. You can hear this narrator going over. As you're looking over, you can see a few other individuals that appear to be kind of looking and critiquing. The crowd are going and are picking up as more ingredients are added in, more materials are worked through. And as you're beginning to step closer, you just hear a massive, massive cheer. And as you get a little closer, someone begins to wave you down and just says, "Visitors, come, come. Plenty of room to watch." Everyone's weird silence.
We're all just like, what?
Welcome to
do we know
Hell's
this?
Kitchen.
No, I knew you were gonna do it.
Said it, couldn't hold it back.
Do we know this person?
No. Appears to be a rather spry elf.
Is he
Appears to be.
dressed gaudily?
He's
Fancy
Dre-
looking?
he's dressed in interesting attire. It's not who you think it is.
Okay.
I'll shut that down straight away. Yeah, appears to be dressed in it's gaudy, but it's not massively so. It's definitely more nature-like. You can kind of see the super bright colors that kind of go across his entire outfit. He's got a few flowers kind of going through his hair and across his ears. As he steps forward, he beckons, and there's a woman that actually joins him beside him. He goes ahead and waves you down and just says, "Come on, don't be shy."
Is it a street cook-off? What's happening?
Just another competition in the fire plane. We're having a blast. There's and he turns, and now that you're a little closer, you can see a fire genasi and what appears to be a dark-skinned Goliath that are cooking off. And he points towards the Goliath and just says, "He's still not been beaten, and we've only had one challenger that's actually brave enough to go ahead and get involved, but there's quite the interesting prize going on here. You see," he leans in. "The rumor is there's an enchanted item that's being given out. And everyone's interested. But as soon as they saw him involved, well, that was it. No one wanted to enter because they just knew they'd lose."
Is this a one-on-one kind of competition, or are there teams available?
I mean, I've never seen a team go for it, but at the same time, I bet if you asked.
Richard just
His tail is practically wagging. He just kind of looks at you and like is trying to keep his expression like neutral, but he's definitely letting a smile slip here and again. He's just trying not to explode.
So happy.
When you ask if a team can do it, he's just like,
I think this is suit for we would like to take on this challenge, I guess.
I mean, I
The
can
crowd
certainly help you.
roars almost in response to this. Not more of a handy timing as the cook-off between the two individuals finishes off. You see the judges having a discussion before the Goliath's hand is raised. You see the person who beckoned you over suddenly gets super excited, runs over and actually jumps onto the stage, grabs one of the judges who gets whispering in their ear. There's a solid nod as you hear, "We have a team challenge next." The crowd
Oh
roar
no. Oh no.
as suddenly you find yourselves accosted by these individuals, each and every one of you having aprons thrown onto you,
No,
pushed
I walk
by
away.
this crowd towards the front.
I walk away or I struggle my way away.
Yes.
No.
Orin's into it.
I eat raw food.
I feel like he's gonna do it. He's like, yeah, sure, why not?
Butcher's gonna pull up the apron and kind of roll it under and then tie it again because it's probably way too big for him.
All right, so Ishton, as you struggle backwards and kind of get out of the way, is everyone else letting themselves be pushed forward?
Zoop kind of crosses his arms and is like, he's all overjoyed, looking over its back to his serious self, and he says,
Yeah, I guess we can do it.
I feel like as they throw the thing at Aridin, I feel like out of pure instinct, she misty steps. Absolutely not.
Have a drink while they do this ridiculous thing.
Oh my god, I need to draw that too. Just them sitting just like
I don't know what. No.
As you're pushed upwards and onto the stage, one of the announcers steps forward, begins this round of applause that everyone joins in, steps forward and says, "Welcome back, everyone, to the Shaheth Jamboree!" Everyone screams in this just ridiculous excitement. And as the crowd begins to die down, that's probably a place to go ahead and leave off for this session.
oh my
So we'll go ahead and do the shopping and the cook-off next episode.
"Woohoo! Pudding! Cook-off!"
I cannot believe.
Yes.
Now I have to figure out what the heck we're gonna make.
There are always competitions of the fireplate. Always.
Oh,
There has to be some way of keeping many people entertained.
There's only one city in the whole damn plane, so yeah. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a whole lot of traveling to be had, so
Indeed.
oh my god, that was so good.
Right.
Nice.
Oh my god, that was so much information.
What is the
Right.
Oh my god, I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's do a chill session. We said, let's just go shopping. We said.
We hijacked that and we were like, no, this is backstory. Lore drop time. Bam!
No dropping,
Hey,
no
as long as you
dropping.
folks are having fun, that is all that matters. Thank you so much to the folks watching. We're going to go ahead around the horn here and just let people say who they are, where you can find them, and plug anything they want to plug. We're going to start off with Ty.
Hi everybody, Ty here. You can find me here every Monday, of course, playing Jotra, having a beautiful time with all these wonderful people. And then Tuesdays, after you're done watching The Gods We Know, if my show might still be going, it's on twitch.tv/Hitchhiker of the Mind. We're going on to like our 2.5-year campaign that I'm DMing. So if you want to see me do all of the goofy voices, or just watch a rerun of it after you watch The Gods We Know, because The Gods We Know is so good right now, and it's like coming towards the end, so you don't want to miss that. Mine will be going for a while, so you can miss that and just catch up. On Wednesdays, you can find me on Featherfall Tabletop. I play Brant Heightsdagger. He is an Echo Knight Fire Ganassi who is not timid like Jotra at all. And then other than that, always hanging around in all the friends we know Discord. You can find me on Twitter, both at Hitchhiker of the Mind and at Emporium_DM. And then that's it. That's me. Next person.
Sweet. All right. Drac.
I'm Drac or Draconics on Twitter. I think my handle's up there. You can find me here every Monday at 6 p.m. PDT playing Athenos. Where else can you find me?
Everywhere.
Yeah, I've been all over the place. So I am very frazzled right now. This is the 4th day of streaming straight, and I'm very tired. Just follow me on Twitter. I'll probably retweet what I'm doing at the time. Yeah, so it's at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. Which apparently I didn't realize this is actually the French which is for Draconics. I had no idea. So yeah.
And we love you for it.
Nicely done. There's a TTRPG space. He will find it, and he will be in it, and you will be grateful.
Literally, yeah. Although sleep is also a thing, Drag.
Says Ray.
So you know it's gotten bad.
Speaking of which, Sean.
Howdy, folks. I'm Sean, aka No Tweet Sean on Twitter. You guys can find me here on Mondays. You can find me every other Sunday on So Mad Games channel for Duo on Dragons. You can also find me in the Thread Raiders Discord because I'm one of the admins over at Thread Raiders. Speaking of Thread Raiders, real quick plug. We helped organize Jasper's Game Day, which will be going on all the way from tomorrow through August 30th. It's going to be very long. So there'll be plenty of chances for you to join the fun and come and donate to the American Association of Suicidology and the Not OK app. All of the proceeds go toward helping those in need who are dealing with suicidal ideation and require resources, including counseling and hotlines. So if you have the time, come stop by.
Wonderful. And yeah, definitely check it out. It's going to be fantastic. And there is a hell of a lineup. Entertainment, charity, what more do you need? Cole.
Hi, howdy, bye. I'm Cole. It's also really hot in here and I'm dying. You can find me at Cole Moriel on Twitter. Oh no, I don't think. You can find me here Mondays playing Aridin. And then you can catch me on Tuesdays playing Kepri on the Gods We Know. And you can also catch me on Saturdays playing Roman Arnarak in an Emberwind campaign that I play with Drac.
Drax like, oh yeah, I'm in that too.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just everywhere. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
He's in everything.
I'm so popular.
I'm like in 2 games with a celebrity. Like not to brag. So you can catch me on Valdrian's channel playing in that game, which I'm super excited about. And you should definitely keep an eye on the Friends Who Roll Dice Twitter, because there's going to be character art coming soon for a new campaign. Okay. That's me.
Sweet. Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen Quixote Jen or Jen Quixote, depending on what platform you're on. QUIXOTEJEN, 1 N, not 2. I am going to be running. Well, you'll see me tomorrow night on The Gods We Know as our game slowly. This year-long campaign is entering its end stages. Although there will be things after this story arc is over. Stay tuned for that. You can see me on Wednesday from 12 to 3 Pacific on Encounter Roleplay. And it's our 4th and final session of Dark Matter, Conspiracy in the Stars. And we just there was a horribly bad disaster of a car chase that we're barely recovering from. And I think we're gonna be hijacking a plane or a ship pretty soon. It's a ship in space, not a plane, a ship really soon. So that's gonna be fun. You can see me on Saturday. I'll be running the Extra Life charity game for the honor, 7 to 10 Eastern. Come join us, help us raise money for medical care for kids. I can't think of a better cause. Come see us then.
And Adam.
Hello, I am Adam. You can catch me at Adam Hardy VO on Twitter and Instagram. I don't post all that much. I'm sorry. I really just kind of crawl out of my cave for Monday nights here, the Mine and the Martyr. But I do all the post-production, so check out our YouTube and our podcast. I add music and sound effects. It's a lot of fun. I take a lot of stuff from like Sirenscape, and I make some stuff of my own, and it's a lot of fun to do. But yeah, check it out, especially if you're new. If you're joining us just this episode and you want to figure out what the hell has been going on, check out our past episodes because they're a lot of fun.
Awesome. I thank you to all of the cast for sticking around and playing and just being awesome. I'm Ray. You can find me at Bearded Baymax. It doesn't work anymore, but it will soon, I promise. Bearded Baymax on Twitter. You can find me here in the Mind of the Martyr on Mondays. You can find me here Tuesday playing The Gods We Know. You can find me on Wednesdays over on Transient's D Live playing Cult Divinity Lost, a horror-based campaign. Content warning on that one. Very much horror, so if that's not your shtick, then yeah. I have other stuff to plug, but I don't remember for the life of me. Yeah, no, it's gone. Check out my Twitter. I'll say stuff. Oh, that's it. I am playtesting something very, very soon, which is going to be interesting over on Polished Cryptids YouTube, Twitch channel. There we go. Which is going to be super exciting. Should be a few sessions. I can't say too much about it yet, but it's going to be very, very, very fun. And I'm running a TTRPG, so check out my Twitter and maybe get involved in that. It's going to be fun. I'm doing a playtest soon in the next couple of months, and it's going to be super, super exciting. So, yeah. Apart from that, that's me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Those of you in podcast land, feel free to get in touch with any of us. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a review, all of that wonderful stuff if you want to see more. Yeah, thank you so much for the support. And hopefully we will see you tomorrow on The Gods We Know. We will see you Saturday for our Extra Life charity drive. It's going to be super, super exciting and super fun. Thank you so, so, so much, folks. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a credit reel here, but stick around. We are going to go ahead and send a raid someone's way. I wasn't paying attention to the Zoom chat.
I think we're going to Behold Roleplay. We're playing the Mass Effect TTRPG, and that's cool.
All right, we can go ahead and throw a raid their way. Again, stick around. Thank you so much. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Keep moving forward. Catch you soon.